Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode with us, Ginton Dice. So please, why don't you go ahead and grab a chair, get a drink, sit back and relax as you watch us, a bunch of nerdy friends who sit at a virtual table to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Dongos and Doggos.
So,
7th edition.
God, I'm just so sad. I don't even know what all they did was just create chaos, and it's like, now there's probably going to be like 5 million different, it's like the same system, but now you have like 5 million different things that are coming out for their own.
I'm just gonna point out how much of this thing have we actually ever used? Big Fat Zero.
I mean, to be fair, I only get them just so that I can like see all of the materials that.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant of the extra. Like the problem is like the content creators. How much of their shit do we actually use? No, we don't. We only use fucking critical, not critical. We only use the shit. So I mean, like to us, it's like I mean,
if you want to give me more shit, I don't care. Like, I'll take whatever.
Like, and our entire campaign is always homebrew anyway, so like, who the fuck cares?
Unless we make our own. I'm just kidding. Never.
Yeah, we make our own system.
D&D.
No.
D&D, not 5th edition, but it's actually 5th edition, but it's not 5th edition.
we did put a knot.
It's all on a shirt too.
All right. So, where we last left off, you crazy bunch of hooligans stormed Crisport with your shenanigans and disrupted the peace. Either by fighting on rooftops, causing tidal waves, beating your friend in not an alleyway, also doing unforgivable things that in the place that does unforgivable things. Gosh.
Hey.
I mean, how is it unforgivable? He just had a good fucking time and had a bunch of sex. Yes.
So after most of that time, you guys went and spoke with Elise's father, who had a very strong sense of Elise wanting to become something more than what she is currently doing, thinking that she is not fulfilling her greatest role. After that fantastic discussion, you guys were led to Nodrin, the golden dragon that resides in the Crisport part of the Templar Senate, who she spoke with you, Garbu, and gave you your first advice.
What? I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, I know. But while all of this was happening, and eventually later, you all congregate into the library, where you all eventually have found each other, thanks to / no thanks to a great, what are they called again? Eluxidons?
That guy
helped and not helped you guys find what you're looking for.
Help me.
Yeah, at least I got to mess with him a little bit.
So
that's the last time I'm asking him directions.
After meeting Elise's sister and having conversations and mentioning of possibly doing something at a later event when you guys return, what are you guys doing for the rest of that day?
Drugs.
Makes sense.
I think towards the evening I'm gonna go, like a bit later, I'm gonna go check in with my mother to see what about the comb.
Okay. With who?
My mother, because I gave it to her.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, it took us quite a while anyways. I think by the time we actually managed to meet and have the conversation, it's like by the time it's already like later in the day anyway.
Yeah. So, easy enough. Let me... Might have... Actually, no. Let me go here. Gotta find it. Okay. So, anybody else? Or are you all just kind of traveling together?
I'll hang. How close are we to like a beach or the port side or the water?
Not that far.
You're really not that far. Like, especially when you go on to the, what is that side called? I have to go and find it. Location. Yeah, because the right side, which is called shore side, it has like its own beach. So you can pretty much go there. It'd be like, especially with you guys living already on the shore side, and if you were to return, like 20, maybe 30 minutes of walking out there, and then you'd be kind of close to the shore.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to. I'm gonna go talk to my patron, I guess.
Oh, don't drown.
Does somebody want to go with me to make sure I don't actually
I'll
drown?
I'll come with you actually.
Yeah, you can. So, I'll at least. Is it cool if I come with you?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Party works every time.
I'm actually kind of curious about how you interact with yours.
So as the group separates,
Meteor storm.
I need everybody to roll a d20 with disadvantage, -20. So, anyways, well, for a little bit of speedicy, so you, Elise and Clarence, you do go back to your mother's, who once again in the temple you kind of go to, well, not temple, but the chambers. You go to her office, which is relatively close, like a few doors down from your father's. But you go in there as she has just tons of books in there, and it looks like she's currently working on some stuff as you walk in. You guys can see that there is, unlike Elise's father, who almost had his in a complete clean and tidy, there it's not stuff thrown everywhere or anything, but there's a lot of stuff happening. Behind her is like a small little waterfall that is kind of coming down. It's relatively quiet, but it adds that little sense of just like noisy nature. There's a couple of plants on both sides when you guys walk in. That's looks like the vines have grown downward, and you can notice it's not like it's purposely hiding the bookshelves, but if you wanted to go get a book, you would have to move a couple of vines to go and get that. Mm-hmm. The parts like around her desk has like a little bit of a rockish formation to it. It's not even, pretty much, but it's not like really offsetting in any sort of way. And then right in the middle, up above, it's like a I can't even think of what it's called, but just a low hanging fire that kind of gives the whole room itself a nice little warmth to it.
It's called like a brazier.
Yeah, something like that. So, but you see, as she's just currently working, and as y'all come in, oh, well, good to see you both again.
Hello. I just look at the vines and I just look at them, and with Druidcraft I just make like a bunch of flowers like bloom on them. But that's nice.
So, what is it? Oh, the comb, right? That's what you're here for?
Correct.
Where did I put that? And she kind of starts like looking through a couple like a book. She's like,
Can I look for it? Or can I
over there.
perception?
She kind of goes and moves a couple of books off, and then lifts it up, and then it's sitting in a book. And she kind of takes it, hands you back the comb, and she's, it's interesting in what little bit of history there is, but it does give off something faint, like it's missing a piece to it. Another set, maybe, or just an attachment or something. But the effect seems nothing that affects. And she kind of goes back and looks at the book, and well, here, you can take a look at it. And as you okay, yeah, as you read it, you see where it mentions Athelian, the name that looks like it's engraved on the comb, and it represents 2 twin dragons. But it's only showing one, and even if you look on the other side of the comb, which you've seen it a couple of times, there's no other name or different type of decoration. It just looks like the same dragon. And there's not too much that's mentioned, just that these dragons were known like a yin and yang type thing, where they brought inner balance to people that were imbalanced. It just using one can kind of alter the scale a little bit to somebody, but as she kind of starts to speak as well, it doesn't really seem to do it much on, I guess, everybody. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes there's only a way to test something, and it's to use it yourself.
I tried it a little bit once and it felt weird.
But exactly, I think it feels weird because it's shifting your inner peace, if you will, your inner self. It shifts you a little bit, but not enough to cause or do any sort of harm or good. So we might have to try to find the other piece. If there is another piece, that is.
I traded this for something else, and I don't think the person had the other thing. Maybe I should ask if she knows, or otherwise I should just go look around, see if I can find something.
Well, there's not a lot about the twin dragons. As it says there, they're just represented as yin and yang. But not much is else known. They seem to have really kept to themselves.
I wonder how this comb ended up over there then. Who knows? Was it Ginton, right? Yeah, Ginton, I think so. I picked it up.
I believe so.
What did I pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ginton. I wonder how it ended up there. Oh well. I met Julie, by the way. She needs to really take care of her hair. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm a bit obsessive with it, but at the same time, it's like it feels like she didn't brush her hair since the last time I saw her, which is quite a while ago.
Yeah, she has been studying pretty hard here for the past little bit.
I tried to untangle it a little bit, so like the ends are a little bit untangled, but it didn't. It's a mess.
I don't think there's a lot helping. Probably have to cut some of it off.
Maybe. Who knows, right? How's Dad doing?
He's doing his best. The conversation earlier, he's him. He just wants something better for you. And as she take like a little side glance at Clarence, asks, "What are you doing, by the way? Are you just standing there?"
Just chilling, man. I like. What do you like? Hey, can I see the coat? Like, I'm not gonna take the. I'm just chilling, just hanging out. Buddy system. I'm just here so if somebody gets stabbed, I got backup.
um,
Buddy
It's
system.
really, I mean, like, is it more so that he doesn't get stabbed and that I get stabbed? I
Yeah,
think
I'm gonna
maybe
be
it's
honest.
more.
I don't want to
Listen,
die, so I followed someone.
listen. Family get-togethers get weird sometimes. You never know. You might get stabbed by.
Well, hey, be glad you didn't go to the ocean. So far, I have a knack of killing somebody in oceans.
At least puts on a blue cloak. Haha, you thought it was everyone else was me. Check out.
I was the one who did.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what
I
color is
mean,
your
one
cloak?
of us does have the ocean as their
Blue.
patron.
Yeah.
No, mine is not blue. It's gray.
So,
Gray green.
as she does kind of take a little like side glance at Clarence, and it's just he just wants the best and wants to make sure you're in good company. No offense to you by any means.
None taken. I am aware of my flaws.
But give it some time. He will come around. Maybe. Or never.
Probably never, but you can always try. You know. I mean, in that sense, we're both stubborn, so.
Yeah, well, you do take after him.
I mean, I do to both of you, just in different ways.
Well, if you excuse me, I got a little bit more research I gotta do before tonight ends. And she kind of hugs you really tight and please keep me informed so I know where you're at. I'm sure your dad would like to know where you're at too. Most of the time.
Probably.
Most of the time.
Mm. Yeah. Well, it's nice seeing you at least, and maybe when we come back around, I'll pay a visit again.
You know we're always here.
Yep. Indeed.
Well, take care and looks to you, Clarence, and stay close.
Don't worry, I'll keep him safe. It's not me you need to be worried about. It's him you need to be worried about.
Yeah, she's got this right. She's quite a bit stronger than me. I'm just like a weird. Yeah, but thank you. Yeah, you seem really nice.
Well, we all have our things. I'm just pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, I've met your husband. I'm assuming you guys are married, mother, father. Anyway. He wasn't nice at all.
I mean, he's the stern father type,
No.
He has a set path, and he doesn't like it when it goes off course.
Ah, he's a perfectionist?
One could say.
Yeah, for sure.
He prefers that everybody live up to their fullest potential. Whether it's studying, whether it might be doing something you hate, but if you were the best at it, then you need to do it.
Makes sense.
Obviously, people have their own preferences. They like things that, maybe you like doing something that you're not good at, but it brings you joy. He doesn't see it that way. He thinks it's a waste of potential. So he tends to get a bit feisty when it comes to wasted potential.
No, yeah, I appreciate you helping convince him to let Elise come with us. She's actually like really good at this stuff we do.
I don't know how much convincing I did, more of just buying you time to leave.
I mean, the thing is, right? Like, there's no way he's gonna keep me here, so.
And
Even if he tries.
He knows that. But
I mean,
it doesn't hurt him to try.
There. I mean, he can lock me in there, but the first moment I get him, I'm out of here, Anyway, I think we, I feel like we sort of hit it. Like, I don't know. I don't want think I should go talk to him again, but in a different way. I mean, I know he does his best, but at the same time, I don't really want our last conversation to be something like this in case something happens. You never know, right? And I don't mean to myself, but I mean, say something happens here. I would rather like leave on good terms than leave on bad terms, because I sort of feel like it's bad terms at the moment.
He'll appreciate it.
Yeah, he probably won't show it, but that's fine.
Well, if I hear the yelling get louder, I'll try to make my way over there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, it's like I probably won't yell unless he's just like, "You're gonna have to stay away."
We'll see about that.
Well, uh, well, it was nice hanging out again, and I like what you did to the place. Looks good.
Well, I've been, trying to embrace more of what I like in terms of spellcasting. So, and you would know that she tends to be more on the elemental sides of spellcasting as a wizard. And so she's obviously allowing it to really show more and more.
Mm. Oh, you see how Elise like, oh, we're talking about that, and she goes into her book of drawings and she like looks at the page of the elementals that we fought, where she drew those. But she's like, oh, we fought these things, so she like rips the page out and hands it to her.
Ah, basic elementals. Interesting.
I mean,
Were you
yeah.
fighting another spellcaster?
No, these things were people who made a deal and then turned into elementals.
Really? I never quite thought of something like that. I mean, that takes a lot of power to change.
Yeah, you remember that hack that Dad was so condescending about?
Well, all of them, I'm sure he condescends about.
Mm. Anyway, I thought you might like the picture. I'm gonna go talk to him.
And she kind of folds it a little bit and puts it in one of her pockets inside her coat. Well, give me a hug again as she comes in and kind of squeezes you a little bit tight and just kind of, as she lets go you and just kind of dusts you a little bit and just go enjoy life. But
Always.
safely.
Can't promise that. I'll try to. I'll try to stay alive though.
All right. Y'all two have a nice stroll.
Yeah, it's gonna be a short stroll then a fun conversation.
All right. And she escorts you guys out.
You want me to like go find something to do for a little while? Because I
You
feel
can
like
you can just stand in the waiting room.
yeah, that's
Or
cool.
sit,
I'll work
or
on some
sit there. I mean,
project or something. Just don't want to be a third wheel in that conversation. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I think you'd probably be collateral.
That's
So
yeah.
but I think it's still probably best to stay in there where you're like still close in case an assassin tries to assassinate you. You can run through the door towards
No,
us.
yeah. I was thinking of dressing up as a plant or something. I haven't decided
I
yet.
mean,
As
I can like.
the assassin comes, he's just like, "Oh wait, hold on." Locks the door. I felt a disturbance, but now I feel good.
I mean, I'm gonna. Well, I can do it. Craft like a bunch of vines over you. Look, now you can look like a plant.
Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I always see this houseplant right here, though.
Oh
Anyway,
God.
we'll make our way towards my dad's office, and if you want to go to the other people first, you can do that.
I'll get to them in a second. As
Okay, well then.
as you go over and knock on the door, and it kind of unlatches. It doesn't sound like the heavy lock, but you could hear as something unlatches and the door opens, and he is just standing, or not standing, but he's sitting there. There's just one little light that's on, and he's just almost like elegantly just writing something, just in what a very smallish book as he's just writing.
I just closed the door behind me. Hello, Dad. Everything okay?
Everything is fine.
You know, I understand that you want what you think is best for me, and that I don't know, as a child, I seem like I don't know, the rebellious younger child, whilst the oldest one does what you want, and you know. But I want you to know that I know that I do know that you want what you think is best for me, and I appreciate that you're in your way are looking out for me, and I will always be your daughter no matter what happens. But I just want to make sure that we can, you know, at least talk to each other and we're not angry at each other, because who knows what will happen. I don't want to both of us to, in case something happens, live our last moments in regret that we didn't, you know, tell each
He
other we loved each other.
he's still just face down
Yeah.
writing.
Mm.
I don't know if I would say I'm angry, more just disappointed. You have so much potential that you're just wasting on idle things when you could be doing something better. But I am not blind. You are my daughter, and as such, I do care for what happens to you.
I know. I just I don't want you to feel like I'm just opposing you because I'm like protesting or like rebellious. I just feel this pull always, and I don't know if that's what makes me go around and do all these things, but I feel like there's something out there just waiting for me. And maybe there's one way of living up to a part of my potential. What if by staying here and pursuing that part, I miss out on something else?
He just kind of continues writing.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're never gonna agree on this, and you're gonna look at it your way, I'm gonna look at it my way. But I just came here to say that I, even for you, and I don't know how to explain this. It's always hard to talk emotions for me, but I know that my friends aren't the most exciting. They're not like shining knights and awesome spellcasters, and they're a bit of a random bunch of people, but they're good people.
That I don't know if I've seen that yet.
No, I mean, neither have I, but I feel like they're trying to make their own way in the world, and I sort of feel in a way that I am also trying to find my own way in the world, and I feel like just around the corner there might be something amazing waiting for all of us. But regardless of that, that's not really why I came here to defend us or like talk about us. I came here because I just wanted to, you know, be family for a bit and at least leave with a hug instead of with an angry shouting contest.
Look, I got a lot that I need to finish before today ends.
Sure, you do. I mean, it's up to you if you want.
He just flips the page and just kind of continues writing.
I think people who look at Elise at this point, you could probably see like the third eyes are getting a bit wet, and she just looks around. Well, sorry that I disappoint you.
Doesn't say anything.
Well, guess I'll go and see you later, I guess.
I'm sure we're seeing each other soon.
Okay. And she just turns around and leaves. And she just, as she comes out of the door, she just looks at Claire and says, "Goes, I think we're done here."
Okay. You ready to go find the others?
Hmm.
You all right?
Not really, but let's go find them.
Okay.
Make a perception check. Both of you can if you like.
I think it was a positive roll, so why not, right? Oh hell yeah.
Wow.
33.
Nice. Both. Okay. Um
Heard me eating pizza.
I mean 21 for Terrence is good as fuck as well.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
As you shut the door and both of y'all start to walk out, and this is something you don't see, but you will end up hearing this, as he just, the second you shut the door, he just stops writing. And it's kind of like as you guys started walking in the hall, and just a little bit, you hear like it's kind of faint, but the sound of something broke. Maybe something was thrown.
I look at Clarence. Do you think I should go back?
I think that no matter what the conversation is, if I could talk to my dad again, I would.
I think so too. I tried. But maybe he's too afraid to show his emotions. I don't know.
All you can do is try.
I mean, I guess with your 21 perception, you can probably see like Elise probably tearing up at this point.
Yeah.
She just like runs back and she just brushes through the door.
As you kind of come back in, and with tears starting to go down your face as the door opened, you can see him with his head just kind of like on the table. You can see the lamp that was thrown across the room. It looks like some of the stuff that, what little bit was on his desk, looks like it was shoved off his desk.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear him kind of sobbing too.
She just Elise just opens the door and sees it. Like in that slight moment of recognize what's happening, she just doesn't like break her run like and just keeps running towards him and just hugs him.
It, for the first few seconds, it's almost like it's more of you just hugging him until he stands up, as he just slightly towers you a little bit, and then he does hug you back, and he doesn't say anything, but both of y'all do at least embrace. Aeth, Garbu, as you guys stroll out, going out of the shoreside gates and getting up to the shore itself, what do you guys do? It's also kind of setting ish.
So, have you thought about what the dragon said to you? Or no?
I have, but I don't really know how to get there. If that makes sense. How to achieve what she told me to. Are you scared of me?
Why would I be?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm very small. I like, I do this up to like his calf. I don't know. How high does 2 feet go on eighth? Like
He's 6 foot
maybe his
6.
knee at best.
Yeah.
I just kind of, yeah, I don't exactly strike a fearsome pose.
It's
Just,
not your size for me to be afraid of, if that's what you mean. There's
is it the
other
fact
things
you
you.
can't see me that you're afraid of?
No,
Sorry, out of character. I had to go there. I shouldn't have said it, but I had to.
no. I. It's your goals, I would say, that would scare me, if
I
I'm
guess
being honest.
that's somewhere to start, I guess. So how do you talk to your patron? Because I don't really. That at that temple was like the first time I talked to the Platinum Dragon.
Well, the last time I talked to her, I was in a torture room, and she wasn't too happy about that. This time,
Why?
I I felt familiar with all the torture tools, and I just wanted to talk to somebody, I guess. I know you guys were busy doing your own investigating, and morbidly, I felt nostalgic, or some nostalgia from that trauma. Not sure.
And
And
he
she,
was mad that you felt nostalgia.
I think she was mad that the way that she communicated with me was using blood
Blood?
as a liquid.
That was why you were covered in blood
Yes,
back then? So she just covered you in, well,
she covered me.
liquid, but the only one there was blood? So what if there
Yeah.
is no liquid?
Not sure. She doesn't like it when I talk to
So are
her,
you gonna get covered in seawater?
but probably. I think it's important for me to let her know what my old friend said to me.
Um, don't
Show
drown,
some.
I guess?
I'll
Do you
try
need
not to.
some help to avoid drowning?
I might. Yeah,
Uh,
just
where the heck is my... I'm very interested in watching like how you communicate with her. But
if it seems like I've been under there too long, pull me, pull my head up.
okay. I'll kind of pat Eighth on the calf
Me.
and cast enhance abilities for Constitution on him. Bear's endurance, right? Good.
Oh,
I'll pull you out if you seem like you're drowning. I'm pretty strong. Kind of flexes his muscles a little. Just yeah. I'm I'll be right here.
I appreciate it.
I still don't know how to swim, by the way, so don't go too deep.
I'll try not to. Hmm.
So what do you do?
I will take off some of my armor and the metal arm. Basically, get down to like not my skimpies, but like my leather pants or whatever, and then start to trudge into the water.
All right.
I'll hand over the glasses to Garbu.
I'll hold on to these. I'll just kind of. I'll put down my cloak of itchiness on the sand and then put his stuff on top of that so that it doesn't get too sandy. The cloak of itchiness is all I have really to do that with.
The
first time it's getting used.
I like it.
Yeah.
I still think it's just a wool cloak. Like, out of character. It's just a wool cloak, isn't it? That's why it's itchy.
I mean, some wool's not that bad.
It's like that coarse kind of wool.
Oh.
I mean, there's only a way to find out.
Yep. He's gonna get himself far enough along to where about not chest deep, but about waist deep. Huh? God, you're really short. About waist deep.
Okay.
I know you didn't want me to talk to you, but I think this is pretty important. And then I'm gonna just put myself underwater and see if I can try and get a hold of her. Meditating underwater. It's water. It's probably the ocean, I think, or the Gulf.
How long do you stay under there?
Why don't you roll a con check to see how long you can hold your breath? Like,
advantage.
I was just
He
saying.
gonna die.
I got about.
Okay.
I can hold my breath for about 4 minutes, or is it 3 minutes?
It's whatever your Constitution modifier is.
Okay, so about 3 minutes. So I can probably about 2 minutes.
Okay. 2 minutes go by. Do you pop back out?
No.
Alright, so as the last minute goes by and you can feel yourself not really breathing, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw to see if you can resist of pulling yourself back out.
14.
I'll say that's good for now. So you go for another minute of trying to hold your breath. Do you continue?
She's gonna try and call out to Ocean. I just got done talking to Minnie a few days ago. She said something about the tides are turning and not in our favor. You know what that would mean?
Make a... Because you have advantage on Constitution saving throws, right?
Just checks. Just checks.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Make another Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
All right. Disadvantage. Let's do this. All right.
Do I see just a whole burst of bubbles come
14.
out when he tries to say this?
You don't see anything, Gorbu.
Okay. I'll just keep watching for like a big burst of bubbles that I think
like
would
it's
indicate
gone past like 4 going on 5 minutes of him being underwater. You see no movement
As
in
someone
that.
who does not swim and has never like swam or learned to swim, does Garbu have any common sense to know when someone's drowning? Out of curiosity.
I'd say a little bit. Drowning is not like you spend a lot of time near bodies of water or anything, but as a cleric, especially along with Baymont, who does have a port, I'd say you'd seen some people drown.
Okay. I'll watch
I
to
mean,
see if his body starts floating. That's what
you,
I'm watching for.
you just don't see, you don't even see like anything's out there. It's like the waves are just kind of coming in and out. You don't see like anybody splashing or any sort of movement or um little ripples where somebody would be at.
Just watching for a floating body. Then still, that's. I've seen people who drowned. I haven't watched it happen, but yeah.
Hey, make one more Constitution saving throw. As for another minute of you really starting to. This is with disadvantage, by the way.
Disadvantage again? Alright.
What's with you and 14s?
14. I have no idea. That's 4 straight 14s. Yeah.
Well, fuck you. It's 15 now. So.
Ah, damn it.
It's either that or start taking damage. It's one or the other. Because technically you're drowning. As you break out of the water, you kind of like feel yourself floating, and when you turn around, you just see nothing but water.
Garbu? Nothing. I understand you didn't want to talk to me, but I felt like this was important. And she told me to show you some trust.
As a wave just kind of comes and topples you a little bit, you having to try to fight with your one hand trying to get back above water.
Are you ocean? Do I do I get the idea of where shore was? Like at least some idea of where it was behind me, or no?
I mean, you did before you kind of got pushed a little bit.
I'll try and get back a little bit, get back towards shore a little bit more.
You think you're going in the right direction, but it's just kind of continuous water with a little bit of a mist around everything.
Can I try and see if I spot anything around or hear anything getting closer to me besides the waves?
Make a perception check.
Alright, let's do this. Oh, that's persuasion. Wrong one.
Wow, that's a pretty.
That was a high one too. That's the
What's your modifier for perception?
+1.
So we'll just say 18. Okay. Obviously you don't see anything. But when it comes to hearing, you hear the sound of waves, but it's like there's something in the water that when the waves kind of go, you can hear like the sound of the waves hitting something else.
Something else. I'll dive back down and see if I tell what they're hitting.
Okay. As you do go back down, um, you don't hear anything. It's just all muffled.
Muffled. Okay. try and focus. See if I can try and, gosh, think of her name and just focusing on that. Like, focus. See if that will bring her forth or bring her here.
Nothing happens. And as you kind of come back above water, you get instantly shouted by what sounds like a bunch of sailors that are chanting, singing, cursing. There's even some that sounds like people praying, people yelling, just so much echoing going on.
Can I tell what they're saying? Or like what they're...
It's like... Make a perception check.
Perception check. Alright, here we go. 15.
They really start to sound clustered as all the voices kind of going above and over each other. Every now and then you can make out what sounds like something positive or something negative, but it's instantly toppled by another thing and another thing and another thing, and then it starts to go quiet as you can hear it finally, but you don't feel like the presence, you just hear the voice. I have plenty of people constantly calling for me, cursing at me and everything from above. I don't need another mouth trying to say something.
Sorry, I thought you prefer me to talk to you this way instead of a torture room filled with blood.
I mean, I would prefer you just not to talk at all. But here we are.
Listen, I'm just telling you what Minnie told me. The tides are turning and not in our favor.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
I thought you would know. I'm not saying...
As the waves get a little bit more rougher and just kind of batting you a little bit, and it's just, look, why don't you come back when you actually have something useful, or just not come back at all? That'd be fucking great. Instead, you're constantly bringing me to places and trying to summon me to help you out with something. I'm fucking busy here, and you are wasting my time.
I'm not trying to. I just want me to trust you. I thought I would trust you by telling you that.
You trust me by asking me to do things for you constantly, like everybody else here.
I'm not asking you. I was just telling you what she told me. I thought you could use that information for what you will.
Great. Now let me do my own tides. And you just feel like this giant wave as it just kind of pushes you. And Garbu, about 20, maybe about 15 minutes later, you might see Aeth a little bit further down as he is slowly walking in your direction as you came back to the beach area. It took you a moment to kind of like...
Yeah. 15 minutes? I'm not even looking at the ocean anymore. I'm like turned around and I'm playing in the sand. My attention span did not last that long.
Actually, I need you to roll me a D100.
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, jeez. An intelligence check.
68.
0.
I'm not even facing the ocean, though. I'm just playing in the sand facing the opposite direction. I've like used your arm as a flag for the sand castle I'm building. Completely forgot to try and keep sand off it.
Okay.
Okay.
You, as like you just you're doing about your own thing, you happen to notice like it looks like somebody left like a little bit of their toys, and there was one like a little miniature horse, and you kind of take it and you're playing with it in the sand.
I used the glasses as a drawbridge into this little sandcastle I made, and I just have the horse like going across the glasses as Eighth is walking up to me.
Take the drawbridge.
Oh hi! I kinda got distracted. Did everything go okay?
No, it did not go right. Trust
Did you
her,
not
and
manage to talk to her?
I managed to talk to her, but then she started yelling at me for wasting her time and
Is
asking her
that
stupid
normal?
questions. Seems like it is getting to that. It's getting annoying.
That doesn't sound very nice.
Puts the glasses on. No, it does
Yeah,
not.
just as you put the glasses on, just stand. Here's your arm.
As you go to try to put it on, like it's full of sand. It's wet
No.
sand, so like it's really compact in there.
I left your clothes on the cloak of itchiness.
The cloak of what?
Yeah, the cloak I have.
Just gonna get all my stuff on.
Um, at the moment, yeah, it is itchy, but even as you're like putting some stuff on there, you feel like some like really wet, slightly stickiest stuff on your stuff. It's bird poop.
Oh. Oh. If there were birds, I would have tried to kill and eat those birds.
You were having fun.
Okay, good point. I paid no attention to anything other than my sandcastle.
I'm definitely gonna hit the
I
bath.
pocket the horse, by the way.
You can keep the horse.
So, as everybody groups back up at the inn, anybody doing anything for the night?
I'm taking a freaking bath and I'm cleaning my armor.
You're muted.
We had a nice time at the beach.
You look like a mess.
Just for the record, I was looking at that door the whole time they were in that office. The whole time I'm trying to figure out how that door works. Just looking at the door. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
As I come out of the door, I see you like standing like a centimeter away from it. It's magic! How many times do I need to tell you?
Okay, I can't just look.
Clarence, why don't you do this? Why don't you make a investigation check?
I was doing it for flair, but this is more fun. Nice.
Just roll a fucking natty one.
Natty one! Natty one!
Hey, willed it into existence! I willed it into existence.
Oh.
Listen, half of the group has rolled natural ones so far.
Yeah.
So
We all suck.
But it's the ones you expected to do it.
So not only did you not see anything,
Do I knee him in the head as I come out of the door?
How many points of trauma to my skull did I take?
I'm gonna say, hold on, I wanna. No, that's too much. Take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as the door that was kind of like pushed open, and you're sitting there thinking and seeing it. It started closing, and it, in a weird way, your head was just in a wrong spot as it like pressed against pretty hard.
Ow. Yeah, sorry. Can we just can we leave?
As you're reeling in pain, she looks at you. Sure.
You feel better?
A little bit.
Okay. Hey, if you ever need to like,
Not now. I got bird shit in my armor.
Get his hair, you bitch.
No, no.
Orisa slaps 8 in the face.
Ah!
Not
Fade away.
Flies all the way back to the ocean.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say before that bird said something.
Yeah.
If you ever need anything, if you ever need to talk or anything, I'm here.
Mm.
So, like, do you know how that door works, like specifically?
Magic.
Okay, all right. Let's go find it. Let's go find
It's
it.
It's not mechanic. That's magical. That's for sure.
Magic.
Wizard stuff. You know.
Yeah, like, I'm a wizard that makes stuff, man.
You're like half a wizard.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, this is cool wizard stuff.
Dang it! Do
So-
we know that they went to the ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did say you were going to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys came back, cleaned up, done your thing. As we stroll into the next day. Oh man.
Nothing during that night. No shenanigans to run around the whole town and have me beat up my friend.
If you want me to do that.
I will show him the horse I found. I'll be like, when we were at the beach, I found this horse.
What?
Yeah,
Which-
it's just it's a
okay.
horse,
Yeah, so it is.
Yeah.
So,
like a little horse figure.
At least one of us had a good time at the beach.
Oh, well, it was completely useless.
Completely and
Well, he-
utterly useless.
He said
I mean-
he got to talk to Ocean, but she was mean to him. I said that I didn't think that was very nice. Or
Oh.
very good.
Well, did she actually come to her with something useful, or did you just be like, hey, solve my problems, please?
No, I didn't ask her to solve my problems. Got mad because a bunch of other people were talking to her apparently, and she said,
I
"Come
mean, the
back
thing
with
is, like,
act-"
you've been talking to her a lot, and the only thing you've been saying is like, hey, I don't know shit. Help me make sense of things. It's like, what is she supposed to do?
I mean, that time it wasn't bad. Entirely.
At least she looks at you like, all right.
This was easier. This was easier with Minnie.
Mm. Well, because she entertained your stupidity. Oh, sorry, that slipped out.
No, I had to go to a fucking. I didn't have to go to a fucking beach to talk to somebody and I get bird shit in my armor.
Does he take like does A take like fire damage for that bird?
The next thing he
Yeah.
does take is going to be fire. That's for sure.
Yeah, let me just minus like 50 from that fire damage.
At least yeah, I'm sorry.
Her wound.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was a bit
Puppies, the
rude.
pain
That was a
little.
bit rude. It slipped out. I mean,
no,
You
it's
know.
fine.
He just randomly combust.
It's fine. It's not the first time I've taken fire damage before.
no, sorry.
So,
At least looks away. He can't see him. Just looks kind of away, like, oh shit.
where are you guys heading?
Where the fuck did you?
Zilsey, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, I got it.
Zilsey.
Oh, you want to talk to the dragon, right?
And then I think also your arm stuff is up there.
Yeah, gotta ask Bolt. Gotta message Bolt.
You have
But
message.
are you telling him to message Bolt, or are you gonna message
Do you
Bolt
want me
yourself?
to talk to Bolt? Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
So you want
I-
you're
I-
voluntarily asking Garbu to talk to Bolt for you.
What do you
No,
want
he
me to
was-
say to him?
I look
Well,
at Claire.
we need some sort of information on the arm builder,
Rated
Information on
smart
arm
game.
builder.
the armsman, the armsman, the
Armsmith.
arsmith, the arsmith,
Arsmith? Arsmith.
Oh my
gosh. The arson.
The
the arson, the arson.
You
The
know,
arson.
Arson, got it.
You know,
I'm the
he
arson.
can read, right? So like you could write out a script and he could.
Yeah,
just
you
read
could.
s- Yeah.
But I like
he
this
could-
better.
Yeah.
Clay and Garbu both like this better.
Yep.
Here, okay, here, I'll write down a script. Oh shoot, I can't see.
I don't think
lucky.
8 can write, actually. Yeah, that's a
You
good
can write, but it's just you know when you write and you close your eyes, like the first word is in one position and the second word is like completely fucking in middle of nowhere.
I have
Yeah,
a quill and an ink and parchment in my bags. Would you like me to write it for you and you can dictate?
Let's do that. Sure.
Okay.
I'm still recovering from that
Just
burn.
so we're clear, I'm not writing what he says to the T. I'm gonna write it slightly differently.
Okay.
I'll heal him again when he says he's still suffering from the burn.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke.
It's okay. It's okay there. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Here's what you should write.
Let me get a notepad
Okay.
out.
Well, yeah, let's get the notepad out. All right.
Look, you can't yell at me. Okay.
You got the.
Wait,
you
what's
got
it
ink on the
called now?
quill?
It's not just called notepad.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It didn't come up. Okay. Now do your thing.
Okay. Hey,
I
Bolt.
think it's called sticky note. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Hey, Bolt. Was wondering if you know the name of the person that helped AF with the mechanical arm. Could you give us the name of him and then his name and where he lives in the DLC? That's good. Do we need more?
What's the last thing? How do you spell that? What was it?
DLISEA.
SEA. Thank you.
Do you want to say that in Draconic or do you want him to say it
Oh, I can say it in Draconic. You have to give a little bit of room for error on the translation, but I know both. You know, some things aren't a direct translation. You might say like blue sky in common, but then you might say Rachbas in Draconic. You know,
I was
they're
actually
just not one to one.
And like you see how Elise like looks over at the thing and like just scribbles out everything and just write, "I'm an idiot who forgot to ask you who I need to talk to. Please help me out." And I hand that to Garbu.
I see it as he does it.
I
just kind of nod.
Are you slight handing? You're just straight up.
No, I'm just scribbling.
Oh, it's just scribbles.
No. I like Elise knows
Like
how to
she
write, but
crossed out yours
Oh,
and
okay.
then wrote that.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm an idiot who forgot to ask you who to talk to. And
No,
then
Yeah,
what
Elise
was
is an
the last
idiot.
bit?
Please help me out.
Please help me.
Oh my god.
Can I whisper to Garbu real quick?
Sure.
Make sure not to forget to mention he's blind at least twice.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Send
just
it.
in case he forgot.
I cast sending.
He's
Hi,
the one
Bolt.
that.
Ace says that he's an idiot who forgot to ask who he needs help from. Please help him.
Blind.
He's blind. He's blind. And then I'll just say he's blind until the spell ends, I guess.
That doesn't how does he know?
He said it in Draconic, you don't know.
Yeah, I said it in Draconic because I was told to say it in Draconic.
As he replies back in Draconic, "Are you okay?" And that also figures. What to do with him? Go look for Yojin Operand. Opon, whatever, however you pronounce it.
That's it. That's it. Go look for Gojin Opron, right?
Yeah, it's Yosjin, Yojin, and then Operond, Opond.
You seem not sure how to pronounce the name, so we might not be looking for the right person. But he said we need to look for Yoshin Operand. Also said that figures.
Figures what?
That you're blind.
Is that all I'm known for in this person? Being blind?
I want to be clear. I just put.
You're also old.
I put Yashtin Operand as arm guy in my.
Arm.
It's just arm guy.
That's all he needs to be.
Okay.
I feel like this is why I mess up with my notes sometimes.
I'm not even. At least
Any
his
more
father's older than
messages we
me.
need to send, or
Yeah, but like he's an elf. That's not the same.
How's it not the same? He's older than me.
Yeah, but like, how long is your race gonna live?
Hold on.
Oh.
Did you say Bolt was an elf?
No, it's
No.
a Dragonborn.
No,
Okay.
I
they
said
live to
at
be
least
like
his
60.
father. 80. I thought it was 80.
I actually don't know how long Asimar lived.
Oh, 160, 180.
Ace
Oh,
father actually
yeah,
looked
you live a
younger than
while.
you. He didn't have white hair, I don't think.
Wow, he is straight up calling you out.
So,
Right? Elisa's father doesn't have white hair.
no.
It's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah, he
like
doesn't look
like
as old as you.
just imagine Hugo Weaving and then from Lord of the Rings, and then that's him.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm just thinking Elrond.
Yeah.
All day, baby.
So what do you guys do?
Guess you have to go find some transport.
Yes.
Making our way to the docks.
I
I know where
Make
to
'em
go.
away.
use that docks. Gonna get ourselves a ship. Da 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 da.
No, we're not gonna
We
get a
gonna-
ship. We're gonna
Are we doing it tonight or tomorrow morning?
Yes.
tomorrow. Are we already in the next day? Are we in the previous day?
No,
Uh,
we're sending the message the night before, I thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever.
That's up to you. If you wanted to
I
do
would
it the
rather
night
the message
before.
have been sent the night before.
Hey,
Okay.
Let me
Elise,
do that.
you're
Hey.
from this area. Do you know how long it would take on a board this ship to get there?
Luke's a DM.
Yeah, I was
Well,
waiting
yeah.
for that.
That's why I changed my voice halfway. I was like, ah.
It honestly doesn't take that long. If at most, depending on the weather, which, the, and let me kind of go back to it. The area between both Crisport and Zillisea, while a boat should be able to make it there, thank you, within like a day, due to either piracy or in case of bad weather, which tends to come around every so often, it could take up to at least one day. Or you'd get there, like, if you leave early in the day, because that's when most of the ships leave. They leave in like a fleet, if you will. Not like they're escorting these ships or anything. It's just whether it's
Safety
transporting goods, people, or like actual armed vessels. They all just go as one whole group, so that if something does happen, whether it's piracy or weather related, other ships will be able to help, since they're not that far. So if you leave early in the day, you should get there relatively at night if the weather is good.
So we're talking like more of a ferry service as opposed to a voyage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you can, it's kind of like one of those, you could kind of see like the island, but it's like really small, really distant. If you got like a really good telescope, you could probably make out like a little bit of the island.
Or if you have elf eyes.
Dun dun dun.
Elf eyes see. I just
What
looked
if
at
you
cash.
have- No.
I mean, in worst case about a day.
It's not
Should
terrible.
we leave in the morning then?
I would probably not.
They
a
leave
bad
in
idea.
they leave in the morning. I don't think only idiots leave during the middle of the day, especially in the evening.
Did
The
we
only
secure passage today though?
No, it should be fine. Can do that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you can do it in the morning. They don't.
So like we just pay money and like people just take us on their ship. It's not gonna like sink the boat.
Yeah, it's just one of those where there is kind of like a cutoff time, but it's not like super early in the morning. But they do want to be gone, if the whole fleet is going out. If if a few ships are like struggling behind, it's kind of like if something happens, like it's up to your own risk. Besides, like little fisherman boats and stuff like that.
Well, let's just go to sleep early so we wake up early so we can be there in time.
Yeah.
Anybody else need a message sent to anybody?
Nope.
I mean, everybody I know that's alive is here. So like,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got 2 more I can send. Just
That's
offering.
fine.
How
I
about
just
you
connected.
send a message to your parents?
I was planning to if nobody else had any.
Oh, just tell them I said hi.
Tell them you said hi, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we
I'll.
tell them that you're gonna be running late? Too, since
I
you
mean, I told them it would probably be like a week or 2. I think last time. I don't remember.
You did tell him it
Said
would
we
be
were
a little
going.
bit.
I
You
told
did.
them we were gonna head to Crisport and then possibly go farther before coming back. I think.
Yeah, you did. If as far as I remember, you didn't say anything like, "Oh, we're going to be there the next day" or anything.
Yeah, I vaguely like said I'll be there sometime soonish. Vaguely.
Oh,
I
well.
think I said like in the next few weeks or something because I said it back when we were like over here
Mm.
and I knew we had to go here and then up.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So,
Just talk to your parents. I'm quite sure they'll be
yeah,
understanding.
I'll cast a message. I sent one to Pa last time, so I'll send one to Ma.
You will know that they're probably asleep at this time.
Then probably Pa.
wake them up.
Don't want to wake up Ma. You know what? Yeah, I'll still do it. Yeah. I'll send a message to Pa. Hi, Pa. This is Garbu. I'll wait a second for you to wake up a little bit. Uh, Clarence said hi as well. Just letting you know that we're currently in Crisport and we were going to pop up to Zlisey before we head back down.
Probably at some point in this list.
That's where it ends. Yeah.
It does take it a moment for him to wake up, kind of to it, and then reply back. What time is it? It's, it's late. You need to get some sleep, young one. You be safe. And you can kind of hear him as it sounds like he's nodding off again.
Sending again. I'll get some sleep. I've been pretty safe. My friends take care of me. Love you, Pa. I'll see you soon. I think you just hear like him talking to Clarence in the background.
And he's
I
just,
think he got
He set the phone down and turned away.
oh, and tell Clarence I said hi and hope he's doing good too. He needs to keep you out of trouble as he goes back to sleep.
He
Wake
said
up
hi
your
back
mother
to
now.
you, Clarence. No, that was my
Awesome.
2 messages.
I thought you were gonna send it to Ma this time.
No, I didn't want to wake her up.
But
What do we get?
Pa's okay.
Yeah,
I think. What does your
I
mother?
think.
Does she get? Do you get like hit with the changa then? If you
No.
wake her up.
His
So
parents were actually
she
very,
just throws a shoe and it flies.
Yeah.
they were very nice people.
Oh,
I
where?
was just the more talkative of the 2, so I figured I'd get a bit more out, I guess.
Well, I'm gonna go crash so that we can get up early.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, they also said, Clarence, you need to keep an eye on me.
Oh, buddy, I've been doing that.
So, as you guys rest, long rest, and wake up on the 22nd, want to make sure that is correct. Yeah, because I already changed it. You guys grabbed your things and set back out to go to the harbor district so that you can request services to go across the sea. As you guys get to the ports, there is just a lot of activity happening.
Wow.
People loading up ships. And it's not like just one of those where you like walk down the docks and there's just all the boats. There's other areas as well that ships are able to pull in further, and these are a little bit more where they're trying to actually like put bigger cargo on, and then there is the smaller ones where you guys do got to walk down, kind of going off of the stone like work and onto the wooden platforms where there is a bunch of smaller ships that look like they can take people.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
What's the idea?
We're gonna go look for a ship that transports cargo. Then we're gonna go talk to them like, hey, for instead of like taking money for ferrying us over, we'll help you defend in case something happens. And that's the payment. That's the way we pay them. By keeping their shit safe.
That sounds smart.
Try that.
I mean, I don't mind paying either way because I mean, you know, those boats that they take people, but I mean, free is always nice. Free is always nice, right?
Did I tell you guys that I know how to figure out if somebody has a memory modified?
What?
No.
What?
I did a lot of reading in that library that you guys found me in. I know how to check. Well, I can't do it, and I don't think any of us can do it, but I know the spells and methods in which to check for modified memory and how to get rid of it if it's happened.
Which are?
Remove curse. There was another one too. I just can't remember what it was.
Greater restoration.
I think it was a greater restoration.
Yeah, greater restoration or remove curse. So, like high level cleric, warlock can be remove curse too. I think.
I can remove a curse.
Oh. Well, I think you should, like, at some point, not right now, but like, you should probably try it on yourself if that's possible.
Okay, I can prepare that tomorrow.
Okay.
You could have brought this up last night, and I could have prepared it today.
I would have if I would have thought about it. I just didn't. So that's on me.
Well,
I honestly can't remember if we went over it or not.
No. Let's say Clarence forgot in character as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just gonna go walk. I'm gonna walk one of the cargo ships, I suppose.
I forgot to watch to see if Eighth was drowning or not yesterday.
It's fine.
Did he drown?
Forgetting something he read to watching to see if your friend drowns.
I did not drown.
Make a perception check or investigation check.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Fuck's sake.
Investigation.
So
that's what you're gonna.
As you guys are kind of standing close to the section where either you can kind of go to the left or right to see more of the a little bit bigger cargo ships that are stuff being loaded, or go downwards. As you kind of look around, a little bit of a distance away, about probably 4, maybe 5 ships over, and this one seems a little bit more by itself. The spots, and there's not a lot of these, like little pockets, if you will, that allows a boat to come in, and they kind of block the water off, raise the water so that they can make it easier to put the cargo ships on, or the cargo on the ships. Some of these pockets can hold about 2 ships side by side. So they're not big, but at the same time, they're not that small either. And there's a couple of these, about like maybe 5 on each side. But on the very 4th one, there is a ship by itself. And it takes you a moment as, you know, boxes are kind of being loaded on. It looks like Sepharis, as she's talking to somebody that's holding like a clipboard, as she's just standing there speaking something to them.
And you see how like I guess 8, like you can't see Elise's face, you just hear Elise like exhale very disappointedly in a way. Fuck.
What's up?
I mean, who do you, like she just said, who do you think is making their way to fucking I can never pronounce that name. The city up there as well.
I call it Zillicy, but that is obviously
I'm being in character just for the meme.
Zillicy, you mean?
Yeah, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, guess who's going there as well? And I pointed out to the other people. I like pointed out, and to him I just make him guess.
Hi, Sepharis.
As soon as you pointed out to Garbu.
Why did?
It's you guys are pretty far away, and with all of the
I'll
loud
use
noises.
thaumaturgy when I notice she doesn't hear me the first time. Hi, Safars! Loudest yell possible.
I kick Garbo into the water.
I don't know how to
turn into
swim,
Walsh
so the moment I hit
Walsh.
the water, straight to the bottom, however deep
No,
it is right here.
I don't kick him into the water.
The first
just kick him in the shit- I
time,
kick him
the
in the middle
first
of the
time
shin.
you might have had like a few heads turn, but with you casting a spell to be louder, and everybody's kind of like looks in your direction as she does slowly turn and just
I'm just like.
looks back and continues speaking with the person.
Oh, thank God she didn't see us.
Guys.
Yeah,
No. We should find a different way to get there. Let's.
Yeah. Elisa's
Yeah,
like, you know what? Actually, paying money sounds fine. I walked to the place
Yeah,
where you pay.
yeah. Let's go. I'm just gonna try and drag Garbu away. Let's go.
He's
There are
right
better. No. Come on.
I'm not in the
Why
mood
are
for
you
another.
small and heavy?
I'm not in the mood for another contract. Thank you very much.
Garbu weighs like 200 pounds and it's all armor.
Yeah, that's why he's like, why are you so small?
Without the armor,
Heavy.
20 pounds. With the armor, 200.
All right, so you guys go to find like a regular ferry that's taking people.
No fucking way.
No.
All right.
I just go up like how much? I just walk up to the first guy. How much?
They're doing 50 each person, or you can do 100. And what they do is they give you kind of like a special ticket that you can hand back if you plan on coming back, either a one-way trip or a two-way trip.
50 gold or?
Is it the round trip set? You like have to come back on a certain day, or can you just come back when you're ready?
It's
This
just
equals
it's
someone's
kind of like
entire
it's
yearly
kind of like
salary.
prepaying.
Is this like the
50
high class
gold?
transport?
I mean,
How
you
much
know,
would a boat cost?
a lot more. But
It
not
is
buying a boat.
1 gold per mile.
whatever. I just say like, yeah, 50 gold. I'm not gonna like who knows what the fuck happens up there.
I got 5 platinum.
Okay.
No, I don't actually because Lisa's in a foul mood. She just gives her 500 silver. There you go.
He's just
Counts them out.
1, 2, 3.
It takes a moment, but you guys do get on.
Yeah,
I'll
there you
do
go.
5 platinum.
All right. So
Okay.
I kind of thought we were gonna try to negotiate that, but
We're
Nah,
not.
fuck that shit.
I don't.
Rule 2, I guess.
Sorry, Garbu. One deal with Safaris is good enough for me. Having to call her and on her little
I still
Motorola
wonder why
watch.
she doesn't remember Zao.
Mention's name none of you remember again.
Yeah, whoever that is. Anyway, let's get on the fucking boat. I'm dying to get somewhere else.
So it's you know, okay for a small ship. There's since you guys are kind of coming as a group, they offered that, you know, there's enough room that would fit all of you, so like you would have like a little space if you want to kind of sit in there and wait. As again, it could depend taking up a day, and they did advise that, and you guys could see this too, and I kind of forgot, sorry, that there does appear to be a storm out there as it's kind of brewing a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
So they're not taking a lot of passengers, only people who seem to be either determined or at least somewhat capable of holding themselves. So there's that too.
Are you guys
Just make
familiar
the-
with the term foreshadowing?
Yep,
Not yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
I am. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
I've read enough books.
So, as you guys
No.
start to take off, and depending if you guys want to just sit in the room or kind of sit up on the deck, but as it starts to go out, there's a decent amount. There's probably about 8 to 9 ships altogether. There is 3 of them that appear to be a little bit more of cargo ships. Then there is 2 that appear to be kind of just like regular vessels of, armored vessels. And then the rest is like a passenger or anything smaller. People could be smaller cargo, anything of the sorts as they start to head out as well. So, anybody doing anything on this lovely trip? Anything in particular?
I'll be up on deck, I guess.
So Garbu, what like is it gonna like ruin your whole day if you just try to remove curse right now?
I don't have it like I can't do it right now. Okay, I didn't. It's not something that I thought about this morning. Wasn't really something I was prepared to do.
As he has like his 5th I slap him on the back of the head. Stop saying. Are you stuck up there or what?
Look, sometimes I get stuck on track because my brain's moving in 12 different directions and I just spin in circles.
Okay, well there you go. Now you're not spinning in circles anymore.
If you die, I can bring you back within 1 minute.
Yeah, me too.
Reassuring.
Yeah, I prepared that.
I mean,
I also prepared for us to be able to walk on water if the ship doesn't stay afloat.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I'll sink.
I have levitate. I don't know if that works. Does that work?
I mean, it would keep you above water.
I can kill us while we're in the water.
I have water breathing. I have water breathing as well. So.
Oh.
I could have done water walking as well, but I chose wind wall instead.
Good minds think alike.
Theoretically, if I cast Thunderwave under the ocean, what would happen?
The water would temporarily displace and then come back again.
Yeah, which would mean that it would be massively disastrous, right?
Probably bad.
Because of the way volume works.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get crushed by a lot of water.
I know what I'm using.
I got thunder.
So, are you trying to commit suicide?
No. I was gonna use it to fight. I had to.
Oh, okay. No, never mind.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no like giant fish people pop out of the water and crash a boat into our boat, killing one of us.
I mean, you need to be.
That sounded oddly specific.
You need to be a vessel of a titan to do that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Good thing none of us are a sorcerer either.
No.
Or good thing none of us are turning into giant eagles and trying to attack a fish creature in the ocean.
Was it even a giant eagle?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We kid.
Wait, did Elise have you played a druid before?
No. Somebody else.
We're referencing something.
I didn't know.
That happened.
That was how one of the other players died. It was at sea, so I'm trying to see if I can go 0-2.
Well, but at that point, the stakes were actually at some point. Right now, there's no stakes. We're just like random people traveling. But back then, there were big stakes.
There were, yeah. So, but anyways.
Anyway.
So where is everybody?
We also were traveling not along a standard route back then.
So what is everybody doing in particular as you guys are traveling? Are you doing anything? Or just like relaxing in certain places? Is there something you're trying to do?
I'll probably relax on the top deck.
Is there a crow's nest?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I like go up somewhere high and look around?
There is not a crow's nest on this ship.
Can I just go to the front of the ship at some point?
Whenever point you want to go to.
Okay, I'll go to the front of the ship and kind of feel the wind blow against my scales, and I'll think back to the vision I had with the platinum dragon where I was falling from the sky, and I'll close my eyes and I'll be like, "Are you there?"
Wait, I love this. I have such high passive perception. Wait,
Somebody hold him up and be like, "You're king of the world."
So I guess before we get to that point, then, because I like this and it brings up to a good point. So, anyways, as you guys do start to set out, and of course the water has this little mist upon it itself, and as you guys start to get a little bit further into the building up of this storm, it's not heavy per se. It's not causing a lot of waves to be crazy. It's not smooth, that's for sure. It brings more of darkness and just a bigger fog with it than anything. So Garber, you're doing that. Clarence, what are you doing?
Kind of just chilling.
Okay.
I'll probably just be leaning up somewhere, like reading a book, trying to like work on something.
Okay, are you doing it on the top deck or like in the room that you guys were provided?
I'll probably not be in the room. I'll probably be outside.
Okay, because the book is...
As high as I can get without being dangerous.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
paper, books, and the water.
No, yeah.
You get off me.
Is
Get
this
off my
like
head.
a
No.
standard, like when you think of like a ship from like from like normal fantasy settings where it looks like a typical pirate ship where it has like the upper deck,
Yes.
lower deck, and all that?
Yes.
I'll just be on the lower deck.
If you wanted to be somewhere high, do you want to go up and see if you're allowed on the upper deck where like the steering wheel is?
That's a no.
Okay. I was just saying, since he wanted to be up somewhere high.
Yeah, it's like, again, a typical pirate ship, like what you're saying. It's not, this is too far to see like an actual like ferry like boat to go. But it's accommodating in a way to feel more of like a passenger. There's not cannons or anything. There's just like maybe some spots that might have like a little rowing boat kind of attached to it, so if they ever need to just throw it off to get in.
Are there enough rowing boats for all the passengers, or is this a Titanic situation?
It's only for the women and children only.
Ah, gotcha.
Luckily,
Luckily, I'm a child, so
there's a label.
Me and Elise are safe. The rest of you.
So
I'm crippled, so they would have to put me with you guys. So
I think
I'm less than a
that's
man.
more reason to like put you down, right?
No.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm probably looking for like a little barrel to sit on the side of the top deck, I guess, and just not really, I guess, feel the wind, if there is much wind.
Yeah, there's a little bit of good wind to it.
Take the hair out of the ponytail, just free flowing.
Elise.
First 10 minutes, I ritually cast water breathing on top of the deck to everyone I can see within range of 10 people, and then I go inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sheila's like, job done, and then she goes and sits inside, and that's like drawing.
As we all start drowning without water on our temporary gills.
No,
Yeah.
because that's literally not how it works. Literally not how it works.
I know, it's just
fun. So as you guys are doing that, and there's people talking as well, other civilians that are going back and forth, a little bit of the crew mates as they kind of go back and forth, making sure everything's fine as like the whole fleet is moving out. Garvey, as you were standing there, kind of feeling like what was happening before, and you ask, "Are you there?" Everybody tends to hear this as there is just a very loud, kind of vibrating-ish roar in the sky.
Elise just looks
I can look up.
As you look up, you don't see anything at first because that sound awfully I guess real, and you start to make out what looks like something faintly glowing, as it looks like it's getting just a little bit brighter and brighter. And at least at this time, you could probably like, as you heard it, like closing your book, and you could probably like have looked out the like a little bit of a window before either continuing or thinking you might have to go upstairs.
Elite pops head outside the door and looks up.
I'm just imagining her. I was like, oh.
Clarence. Not
Hi.
Clarence, but Garbu. Sorry. You're in the back. Go fuck off. Garbu. What are you thinking at this current moment as you hear this and see this?
My first thought would be, is this real? And I'll look back to see if everybody else is reacting to the glow I see approaching.
Yeah, they're like reacting. Everybody's just kind of like stopped and is like looking to see like what this is.
Second thought is, did I do that?
Did I do that?
Third thought is, find where Clarence is.
As you start to think of your third thought, what is the fourth thought when you see a very familiar spectral-like crown floating above this sickly-looking yellowish dragon as it's hovering, just flapping its wings as the mist is slowly starting to...
Bad. Third thought. Or fourth thought, I mean.
Yeah.
As it's sitting there just flapping its wings, and everybody's still kind of like in this little awestruck moment of like, what is this? Like, what's happening? The ships are still, you know, of course, moving, and obviously as the ship's moving, and you guys are getting like a little bit closer to kind of being under it, you can see this buildup of this darkish yellow energy as it just releases it with this kind of a roar, almost like straight down. And it's like this bright light, if you will, but it has a very darkish tone to it. And then it starts to get closer to your ship.
Can I have, in this time, because 8 can't see this, like just grabbed 8 and just push him off the ship together with me?
Yeah, so as you kind of like get up, and I would say at this point, like A, for you, I was also like standing up. You're trying to like get a sense of what's happening. You probably even ask, but nobody's like responding.
What's happening?
And at least as you kind of come up, and you could just, what you start to see is like as it's fired its breath, and it's just starting to roll it towards y'all ship, being just one of the targets. You just kind of grab him and thrown off as it just goes straight through the middle of the ship. Garbu, what are you doing?
Did I see Clarence?
I would say it would be easy enough, as y'all two probably could have met like around the center.
I would have beelined it to Clarence, and first thing out of my mouth is probably, I think I did this.
I'm inside. I don't know what's going on right
Oh, you should have seen Elise going.
On head.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then
you would have seen Elise as well.
What? How did you summon it?
I was trying to reach out to the Platinum Dragon, and then the beams coming towards us. And I'm like, off the ship? Asking a question.
I guess.
As Elise grabs 8th and jumps off.
Yeah, you see like
I cast
like
levitate on Garbu and not myself, so he doesn't float to the bottom.
I'm just levitating at the level of the deck of the ship now.
You gotta jump off.
I can't.
You can't
push him to the side off then. Whatever.
You just push me and like float underneath of me, I guess.
So you push him, like you try to push him off.
Yeah, we're getting off the boat.
As I'm levitated.
As you can still move levitated, right?
Yeah.
He can't choose to move one way or the other.
I can be pushed. Or...
Okay, well, I'm moving him.
So like if you would have cast it on him, you could have kind of like propelled yourselves outward, and
Yeah,
he
that
would
makes
have
sense.
slowly have kind of came to like a little bit of a stop, but he would still be just kind of floating there. But yeah, you can make it go up or down. That's kind of like about it.
We'll go, and then I'll just like make him go off the side of the ship, and we'll just
Okay.
like, yeah.
So as you do that, and just this beam goes through the ship as it just like starts to crack, and just kind of the impact of fire and erupting shrapnel of wood as everything kind of spreads out. And then he just starts to swoop over and a beam again across another ship and another ship. And you can start hearing people panicking, people crying out for help as you guys start to hit the water. Because you guys, well, nobody's cast Water Walk yet, so at least,
At least
in,
no one can join.
yeah, at least the 10 people that you cast it on.
Yeah, hey, the people on our boat are fucking chill.
If
They're like,
I
"We're
see
dr-
people like
we're drowning,
thrashing
oh,
around in the water where our boat was, let me read this.
Can my cannon swim?
No.
No.
No,
How high above the water am I?
I think you're underwater probably.
I would have made you go down.
If I'm levitating. Okay.
So a
If
little
there's
bit right
30
above the
peop-
water.
If there's anybody within 30 feet of me who's like thrashing around in the water like they can't swim, them and me get water walk cast on them.
Does
You
that
cast 10
include me?
people.
Yeah, it's 10 people.
Okay. Can I drop levitate now?
Well, let me ask, are you trying to find your allies or just whoever you see?
If I see my allies, yes.
Make a perception check.
Baby, you got this, Scar.
I mean, one of my allies is holding on to me right now.
True.
I would
That was a
say
low roll.
I'll say as Clarence kind of threw you over and with the levitating, and as you're kind of slowly coming down, you can see Elise as she's kind of like trying to not really drag but kind of guide Aeth as he's trying to swim away from the ship, as it's like slowly, it's not going to crush them, but they're trying to get it away from it so nothing will catch them to force them to go under or anything. And just in the background, as you kind of look back up before you kind of cast, and you just see other ships just on fire and exploding with other little bits of shrapnel, and just the screams of other people as he's just almost not even swooping low or anything. He's just high above the air, just firing his breath, just constantly hitting ships. But you would be able to, like I said, see your friends.
I'll look at Clarence. I'm like, do you remember the name of the yellow dragon?
No. I can look it up. I don't know if I remember.
You can make a history check.
I think it was told to us at the Golden Summit, possibly.
I probably have it.
Yeah,
in my
I don't
notes,
remember it.
Yeah, but see if you remember it.
History.
What the fuck's going on?
Do I remember it?
15. I feel like I have that note too somewhere, but I don't remember where it's at. So I don't remember either. Because that one was the weirdest one to put. We'll say yeah.
Was it the X one?
Hold on. I have a note for it. Hansu. That was his name. Honsu. Hansu.
Ansu?
I knew I had it somewhere.
Oh, you had it here too, on the resource info.
Hey.
How was that spelled?
Honsu.
Should I tell? I'll look back at Clarence and be like, should I tell the dragons he's here?
Do you have any messages?
Yes.
Okay. Then probably tell the one that's here, like this
Yeah,
town's
yeah,
one first, and he can let other ones know.
Let's see. That was Nodrand. I will cast Sending to Nodrand. Nodrand, this is the small kobold you just met. we just left port heading to Zlissy, and Hanso is here. He's attacking us. Evil giant yellow dragon here. That's it.
Did you tell him where we left port from?
He
They
knows
fucking
where we
know.
were.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
You got this. You're good at these. You're good at these.
I can't guidance you.
To be fair,
Five.
persuasion's not my worst skill.
Close.
You guidanced me, you said?
I don't
No.
have guidance. I'm
Oh.
sticking hard of this.
Look, if this is a prank, this ain't very funny and it's a waste of my time.
Said it.
Well,
What'd he say?
she thinks it's a prank.
Do it again, and then say if she doesn't come or help, she'll be held
As
accountable.
another ship is like just exploding. This one being the cargo ship with a lot of the contents just spilling out into the
Am I
water.
still levitating, or did you drop it so that I can walk now since I
dropped
cast
it,
water?
so you can walk now.
Okay.
Since you cast Water Walk, so even for you, at least in 8th, you guys can feel like this magic taking you, and you can kind of like start to, in a weird way, push up on a water and like start kind of moving forward.
If you're in the water, it launches you upward at 60 feet per 6 seconds. I
Well,
think,
it's
so
not launching them, so
Does
I
Clarence
just
see
think
them?
that'd be fun.
The eighth and Elise.
yeah. You guys are like, for them being pushed out a little bit more just due to the watering, but you guys are just like about 20-ish feet from each other.
I start sprinting to Elise and I look at Garbu and say, "Come on, you can talk while we run."
If I send another message, then I can't help anybody if they die.
Well,
Then
it's a good thing
we'll
that I
wait.
can do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Do it. I don't
Mhm.
think she'll believe us. Ding. Nadrin, this is not a joke. People are dying, and if they do, it's on your head. That's what Clarence told me to say. Just adds a little disclaimer.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. Why not have
Definitely.
another evil entity that, or not evil, powerful entity that can kill me in one felling swoop? Just add to the narrative, big guy. I love it.
I mean, you might give it indigestion.
Roll again, higher DC. Is that what I'm looking at?
Just do another one, and I'll say I'll give you points on that. I just find that funny.
Or not.
4.
I'm gonna die.
Either
As
by the belly demon or by the dragons.
Yeah, or the assassins.
Does she just laugh? Is that all I get back? It's just laughter.
Or a random
she
werewolf.
responds, "Can you tell me where you left and when?"
I said that in the first message. Out loud to Clarence, and then I'm just like, I said that in the first message. That we just left port.
He did, actually, yeah.
I just say that out loud. These dragons.
Got any more?
Paragon made me do the same thing after I told her details. She asked me to repeat the details. It's just, these dragons are... Why?
Still want to be a dragon, huh?
I
So,
want to be good.
what are you guys doing?
Are we closer to port, or are we closer to the other place?
You guys are just
Are we-
in the middle.
Fuck.
Like 20
we
miles
do.
out. Ish.
Leor, if you're talking to us, you're muted.
Wait, at least she says, "Let's get the fuck out of here," and she just starts walking to the day.
Okay.
We're walking there.
I don't have a better idea.
We can only walk
let's-
for the next hour.
Yep, just don't worry about it. We'll fix it. But we need to get away from this fucking dragon.
Should we help
What?
any of them or just leave them to the
How?
rowboat? You
How
guys
is she
got
gonna-
this? I turn around to the few people who are water walking or able to breathe water.
There's some people that are like kind of like confused of how they're able to do some of these things, but they are like, if the people who like were able to water walk, they are just like, they're just running, but they've never like experienced this. So it's like as they are trying to run, it's kind of like falling a little bit, trying to deal with the waves as everything is being shifted back and forth.
I feel like we should help him.
We should.
How?
I don't know, but just because I don't have an idea doesn't mean
What rowboat?
I don't want to.
There were a few attached to the ship.
Yeah, well, have fun with that.
As all of this is kind of still happening, a little bit a distance to what would have been the ship's left hand side, as it kind of takes out 2 ships in one go, being the last of the ships, as it just kind of like flaps and hovers and then just lets out this like extinguishing like roar that kind of, you can even see the mist in the air as it kind of like gets pushed a little bit by its roar as it then soars through the mist.
It is actually looks back at everyone else. You know what? You know who we should find?
Oh.
People can give us get us money. Remember who was on the boat towards the other place?
Oh.
Pal.
Do you see them anywhere?
I look over at towards where the car ships were.
Guide her.
I see him anywhere.
I mean, you guys can make perception checks.
Or I guess I'll help her to look. That might be better than guiding.
I'll help. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Because
I'll help.
You'll help her. I'll guide her.
There is
Oh, whoops! It's the other one. It's 19. Sorry, I did it the wrong way. And then guidance.
Plus a d4.
20.
20 total.
Hey.
That is a very low
fucking
roll for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, usually he's got 20, 20, 20.
I pressed the wrong keystroke. I should.
We're having a bad day today. It's an off day for us.
Yeah, it's fine.
I got a 21 perception. Speak for yourself, okay?
I'll answer this in 1 second. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back to this.
Great. I have to catch up on notes a little bit because
I'll take 1 piece of him. I think we're not gonna eat any more of him.
Anyways, welcome back, everybody. So, what are you guys doing? You were looking for the cargo ships that you assume Sepharis and them were on. This is incredibly difficult, as not just the fog itself, but with all of the destroyed ship parts. There were some that are turned upside down, some that you could just kind of like barely see remnants of, as parts of all of the ships are just, destroyed and catapulted across different areas of this section of the water that you guys are in. And you guys start making your way to that direction that you remember seeing at least the cargo ships where they were sailing, which was a little bit more towards the back left
It's there
of the fleet.
Is there rowboats out, like, or are they like not out, but like close to where, still hanging on the side of the ships? Maybe try and cut some of them down for people, or is that not?
Well, for you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. No.
So.
Do I can hear people splashing and wading in the water.
You hear more just that. People screaming. You hear crying. People pleading. There is something that you don't see, but for like some of the others, like just floating body parts. There's just bodies itself. As you guys are kind of walking, you can hear people like right next to you that are like trying to swim to you guys, since you are standing and like making your way in that direction. Like people trying to swim to you, like, help me, you gotta save me, you gotta, like, they're begging you to do something for them.
God, I gotta roll something.
At least make an intelligence saving throw.
there a
6.
role for morality?
I'm gonna try and help them. Try and help some people.
Morality specifically, no. This is more towards like, this is where you guys would have to know where your characters align.
Is there a significant amount of debris, like wood, metal?
Oh yeah, there's, I don't know necessarily
Significant?
about metal, but wood everywhere.
Garbo, would you be able to make something with this in the allotted time we have?
I can try. I can try.
I mean, Elisa, I played Elisa as chaotic neutral so far.
So this is, again, this is will be just where you guys assume your character on how they feel towards everything, and just how you would react to it. At least you kind of give like a little bit of a headache as you just hear the sound of something whispering in your head. Just nothing that's trying to hurt you in any sort of way or anything, but you just hear the almost just like, look at them all. You could save them all. Or you could put them out of their misery. What would you do?
Elise stops.
The voice is... It's hard to recognize at this moment. It feels like it kind of impacted your mind a little too much to recognize. But you at least make out the words.
The thing she just says about that sounds extreme, and then keeps walking again.
Aeth, what are you doing?
I gotta help people. I gotta try and help some of these people. Maybe try and find some sort of like piece of wood that's floatable that someone can hang on to. Maybe like not like a surfboard, but like, you know how something for them to hang on to, keep themselves from drowning, or trying to find something to help them.
As you try to go and help one person, and like you're trying to lift them up, and you're definitely having to lift with your strength on this. Go ahead and just make a athletics check as you're trying to pull this person up out of just the water, and as they're all as well like trying to just like kind of grapple you a little bit, and like in a slight panicky way.
That's my favorite number apparently today.
Yeah, it's not too bad, as you're kind of able to lift this person a little bit out of the water, but you know you can only do one, and you hear the sounds of other people. Clarence and Garbu, y'all were mentioning something. What do y'all do?
I will take my hammer and a few scrap nails that I have in a miscellaneous bag, where I've said that I took them off of things. Apologies to the time where I took these off of things, but I have them now when they're needed. And I'll try to take some pieces of wood and just nail them together as best as I can into a makeshift raft.
We'll help him collect so that we can get as much as we can. That was my plan as well, was to make a raft as large as we can make it in the allotted time and with the materials we can get.
Okay. So, in the way this is being mapped out so far, at least you're just trudging forward to the area that you would assume.
If people are like trying to swarm us as we're trying to make this raft, I'll also cast Calm Emotions.
There would be some, but not like immediately. But it's as you're trying to build this, and if you're like a couple of feet in the other way, trying to pull somebody up, and you know you're asking them like, where is like something I can put you on, and they're trying to guide you, but they're panicky. They're not helping. You guys are... Go ahead.
Do I see Eighth? Because obviously I know Elise left to go find Bell and them.
I
see Eighth.
You do see him. He's just like about 10 to 15 feet, like trying to help this person, but they're panicking, and they're, you know, going crazy.
Over here, help us get materials.
I'll cast Calm Emotions to try and keep people calm, because when you're panicked, you think a little less clearly. and you might not be able to swim as well and whatnot. So calmness might help the situation a bit.
Okay. As you guys are,
and I'll try to do the ship or do the raft.
okay, as you guys are focused on that, trying to go through that, and at least as you're walking, just focus on what you're looking for. You can kind of like with the camera shot backgrounds of parts being on fire, a little bit of other bodies floating or other people trying to like to swim to you for help, but you kind of just continue walking to the area that you're looking for. You get about to where you assume that some of those ships were. What are you looking in particular?
I look at that area, and I'm just looking for. I mean, Fat Man is hard to miss, of course, but I think she's mostly interested in finding Sephiroth.
Okay. As you're kind of like looking around, you're not seeing any sort of related items, people that you're looking for. You don't see them.
Let's see. B. I mean, I have my earring of messaging. I mean, I have plenty of time since they're doing all that other shit. I have plenty of time to go meme around a bit. I'm just gonna send a message with my earring, like, Seph, is you here or not?
And that's within a radius, right?
Yeah, just point in the direction, yeah.
I think it's 120 feet.
You don't. Nothing
Okay.
picks up.
Okay, then at least just says, probably they just paid for some goods to be transported. Oh well. Then she just looks at the people around her and she's like, well, wish I could do something, but I can't. And then she just, I don't know, just stands there looking at the people around her.
That voice continues to like echo in your head. That like there's one that looks like he's awake, but like he's like really dizzy and dazed, and it's just kind of like you don't like walk up like right up face to face, but you kind of do it just a little, and like that voice echoes in your head of just like, don't you just pity them, the weak, soulless souls? Why don't you just end it? Save him the misery. And then you kind of just look around and other people, alive or not, and don't you think you're just wasting your time here?
Yeah, but, you know, can't save everyone, no matter how hard you try.
So, Garbu, Clarence, Aeth, as you guys are quickly trying to get this raft built up as quickly as possible, I would like
check or.
Well, I would like Aeth survival, Clarence perception, and this is more of gathering materials. And then
Damn it,
Eighth is just like
I'm
accidentally.
sorry.
Eighth is like, where are you? Where are you? And accidentally pushes somebody under the water.
Yeah, I think, Garbu, you go ahead and just roll a, let me...
Strength or...
Let me see... Why don't you just do, can you roll the smithing tools? I don't know if you can or cannot.
I think that's strength based plus proficiency or something.
Then yeah, just, you can do that, as you're trying to just quickly... And why don't you also, actually better yet, just do a dexterity. This is more of just how fast you're trying to put all of this together. I'm gonna say you're decent enough to not have to like roll on how well you can put this stuff together. You've done pretty good
More about
jobs.
how fast.
This would be terms of how fast, plus with the supplies coming in.
Fingers
Open, or am
crossed.
I busy with
knock
my
on wood.
foraging?
And this will be accumulation of all of y'all's.
Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Believe
9.
in a thing called love.
So
Not the fastest I could have done it.
Not the slowest.
Clarence is gathering a lot of materials, kind of small, kind of big. It does make it hard to work with some of this stuff because of either how broken they are or just of the out of shape they are, and trying to put all of them together to make somewhat of a decent raft is one thing. Plus, you're not getting as much as Aeth is kind of bringing every now and then something. Aeth seems to be a little bit more focused on like trying to help the people who are crying out for help, and you can see he's kind of like stops, and it's like he's having to choose between one or the other, and he might grab a material, he might try to help somebody bring over, but I'll say this is probably big enough for at least maybe 10 people.
Is there women and children in the water first? Anything like that? Get them in the raft first?
When you think you're finding some, you find them as not moving. So far, the immediate area that you guys,
the people who are close to me,
in the immediate area, most of the people has already gathered close or somewhere on the board, and I will say,
if there's people who look like they're actively struggling to swim, they should get on the raft first, is what I'm trying to do. And if Calm Emotions is still up, hopefully they're a bit more cooperative.
I would say at this moment, in the very just within like 30 to maybe even 50-ish like feet with you guys, you managed to get 8.
8, okay.
Hey, that's 8 people we saved.
Yeah.
Do we need oars or something? We'll paddle it in the direction Elise went.
Well, I was gonna say if we can wait like an hour, I can try to make like an actual rowboat of sorts.
I mean, I could just change my tools to like carpenter's tools, and then I could just start now, and then when you get it, we'll just finish it like that, if that's cool.
I can keep. Well, I just figured with the more wood here.
No, yeah, I totally understand. I'll start. I'll change my tools to carpenter's tools.
I'll try to start casting the 1-hour ritual that I can do to make like an actual boat. Are you just working on the current raft to like reinforce it to hopefully get more, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll guide you, because the thing I'm doing isn't a spell, so that can at least help you do that.
I don't know what carpentry tools would be check-wise.
Your proficiency. This is your proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah. You're proficient in all tools.
You kind of go to. Sorry, go ahead, Aeth.
Get Garbu into the raft, so when the water walking does end, he's in the raft already.
Yeah.
I would have stepped into it.
Yeah, you would need to, as you're trying to concentrate on that hour of just trying to focus to get this set, and it's a little bit hard as people are right in your ear kind of crying like do something, but you're trying to focus and tell them at the same time, I am, just relax, which you have the calm emotions, so they're not like panicking, but it's the fear is still there in a way. They're just not shaking you violently and throwing you overboard and stuff like that.
It also kind of looks a bit ridiculous as I'm just taking my hammer and tapping a piece of wood that's outside of the little raft. So,
Alright.
to anybody who
gonna see if I can-
hasn't seen it before, it would just look like a stupid kobold.
I'm gonna see if I can find anybody else. Maybe someone that seems like they're struggling the most and need the most help, I guess, and then try and pull them out of the water. Get them to the raft. That's what I'll try to do.
At this, I would like everybody to kind of go ahead and make just a dexterity check. This is a little bit of a low DC, but as the waves themselves are just picking up, the storm is just getting a little bit more heavier.
Why did it have to be on a check though?
God, why did I have to roll?
Thank
Capital
God
R.
it was on a check. I hope it's a composite.
So,
Uh,
if you are just having trouble focusing, you are getting flashbacks to what's happened before, and it's just you're having a harder time trying to focus on what you're needing to do versus what you're not doing, which is pausing, standing there, having trouble to even walk. Clarence, you are just in the zone. You changing out your equipment, trying to get a little bit more stuff built up this makeshift raft, trying to put a little bit more stuff possibly under it so that maybe it will help keep it afloat if you do happen to come across more people. Because of that, I would say at least with a little bit of a modifications, go ahead and make a intelligence check with advantage. This is of trying to understand the materials that maybe help make this makeshift raft a lot better. I'm gonna say you could, with what you've done, you could potentially, and when I say potentially, like you have, but it's just like you feel like you could maybe hold about 5 to maybe 10 more people on here.
Nice. I'm gonna.
Now there's enough roughly for 15 to 20.
Yeah.
And there's 8 survivors plus the 2 of us. So that's
Are we
10.
counting
And then
in
if
the
the other 2 are on, I
Or
think
is
so.
this- Yeah, that's what I'm double checking
Yeah.
now. I don't want to overload it.
If
because
the
of
other 2 are there, we would have 12. So we would have room for 3 to 8 more passengers, I think.
Not including Elise?
Or,
Depending on
yeah,
how big
including Elise.
passengers are.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
need to be on there.
Oh,
At
yeah,
least,
she can
what
go
are
first.
you doing as just time is kind of going by? Things are kind of getting settled. There's some people who are kind of like on something that's floating, but you know, about 20, 30 minutes gone by, and it's just this voice echoing in your head. What about this person? What about that person? Look at these people that couldn't make it. And it's like, it's just negative after negative after negative thoughts that it's
So, like,
filling your head
yeah.
with.
I think at least just walking around. I guess like you have the backdrop of the fire everywhere, and I guess after a while she's just trying to shut that voice out of her head, and she just looks at, I don't know. I mean, they looked at like they were looking for kids before. I think she would also look for like, you know, the actual weak people, not people she think who could say like help themselves a bit.
I'll say as all of the voices again are just constant bombardment of these negative emotions and thoughts trying to fill your head. Go ahead and just make a intelligent saving throw of just how much you could try to ignore some of this. Um, there is some things that you pretty much block out. You don't know if it's the voices or if it's people, but there is voices, regardless of wherever they're coming from, in your head or not, you block out. You do feel like a very small pool, and there's at least one uh, kind of like a preteenish, if you will, as they're trying to hold up somebody, but they're kind of like starting to kind of look like they're dipping low, and you felt like something kind of pulled you to look in that direction.
She looks down at it, and then she just like, as she feels the as she, so they like, do I see them like as I look at where they're, are they like, is there like what I mean, like do I see a hand above water still, or what do I see?
It's like they're about 15ish like feet away from you, and keep in mind like you're a decent bit away from like the others. And um it's like you see them like kind of like somebody was trying to hold another person, but they look very young. One appears to be the one that's like trying to like swim with just one hand, and he seems to be struggling a lot. Is like a young male orc, as he is like getting tired, and it's like they're both slowly starting to sink, and it looks like a lot smaller uh orc in the hands as they're both starting to like go under.
I guess at least just walks over. It's like I feel like because of all the shit going on in her head, she doesn't really like feel urgency in a way, in the same way as other people do probably at this point. Like I imagine the others being frantically doing things. I think at least in this moment, it's like, I don't know, almost slow walking across, not slow walking, but like walking across it, and she just reaches her hand down towards um the younger orc and just pulls them out of the water, or pulls them up. Like to sort of hold them afloat, because she's just standing on the water to her, like, and in the water they weigh nothing, so to her it's like nothing to hold the orc by her arm, by the arm.
As you kind of make it over there, and you do kind of like have to at least get down a little bit to reach down, and as you do kind of pull up, they both at least seem, the really smaller one definitely seems unconscious. The other one also seems like maybe just slightly unconscious.
Or just hold on to both of their arms at this point, and I just start dragging them over into the direction where the rest of the group is.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
I'll continue this ritual until it's over.
I'll say another 30 minutes kind of has gone by, because this would be enough for Clarence to kind of get most of the stuff he could together to make the raft a lot better. You finished your concentration for a whole hour.
Okay. So some of the wood that was in front of me would form into like an actual rowboat?
If that's what you were intending, then yes.
Yeah.
How big a rowboat is it?
We can tie it. I think the last one I made was for 5 people.
Okay. So that would be perfect for a
would it
party.
be the same size again?
Um,
I would have made it as big as I could with the wood that was in front of me, specifically trying to avoid the wood that was on the raft.
Sure, why not?
Okay, I figured we could tie a rope to the back of the rowboat and tie it to the raft, and then use the rowboat to actually move and pull the raft behind us, maybe?
We have rope in the bag of holding, so that should not be a problem.
Aeth. What's going through your mind?
I would say probably flashbacks, I would imagine.
As
remembering the smell of burnt flesh, screaming, crying.
as you do kind of have a little bit of those, and it's like you feel a presence in your mind, as it almost like for a split second it shows you what the chaos is out on the water, and it almost like, in a very weird way, the water looks like it's just still, and you see the parts of the boats that are on fire that looks like houses that have already crumbled, the people floating in the water that are on dry land, dead.
Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again.
You hear a voice, a little bit rispy but slightly smooth. You've tried so hard to forget about the past, to try to move forward. But every step you take leads you down a further path of darkness. I could
Do I
help you.
recognize
No, you do not.
Why would you care to help me? Who are you?
Within time, I could be known. You've tried to just live a life, and you kind of, as you're kind of like walking, you kind of feel like something like at the bottom of your foot, and it's like as you kind of look down and, instinctively, it's just like you see what looks like your dead father there, unable to protect those that were in need. And then you see kind of like a couple of feet away another person, but it looks like somebody unfamiliar, somebody who look like they've are part of the group that attacked your village. Unable to put them down. I could ease that if you wish.
What are you?
A guide.
I to what?
Something far better. I don't seek any punishment or rewards. I am simply offering you this gift at this moment, if you want it or not. As you kind of like tumble again just because of the waves that are coming back and forth. Even your own patron doesn't see you fondly. I know many things. I know you deserve better. What do you say?
Can I roll an insight check on this thing?
You can. What are you trying to insight?
Whether or not I feel like if it's trying to manipulate me, or do I feel like it's trying to play with my emotions or manipulate me? 16.
For this one, I want you to figure it out. Quite literally. I want you to figure out of everything that has transpired with how your story of just another boy in a village that gets a life-altering thing, this sacrifices and hardship you've had to go through Zetham, of living with this change, this new feeling of blindness, and, well, the no longer feelings in your, right arm? It just the change of this being that gave you a gift who seems to turn their back on you. And this new entity who's, well, constantly belittled you. This is one of those times where, along with the morality of just how everything is gone, how you feel, I want you to decide.
Why talk to me? Why? You have interest in me because of the fact that my patron and I don't exactly have the best of communication. But why me?
It is
What am I to you?
up to you on what you decide. And that vision of you like seeing the resemblance of everything is like, as it slowly grows fader back, slowly go into the darkness that you are unfortunately familiar with.
So, how long is this taking for him? Because Elisa's been doing shit. Whilst they have been doing hour-long stuff, Elisa's been doing a lot of is gonna do things during this time. So you know.
This is all kind of like happening simultaneously.
Yeah, because Elise, like, after she... So I give someone time to think. And what happens during this time is that Elise, as she's holding those two, she looks at them. And then she thinks back about what she did in the other village and how the constellation changed. And she's like, you know what? Let's make a change. And then we're gonna do a lot of things in a row right now. I mean, it doesn't matter because I have plenty of time anyway. Elisa's gonna take out the rope of climbing, say idiots, and it ties around her, and then like the rest of it like trails behind her. Then on her, she's gonna take out the spear, put it like on her back, and then on the spear she's gonna cast Starlight, which is my version of daylight. And then she's gonna shapeshift into her starry form, the dragon version of it. Let's see, that's one spell gone. So this is like what she did rapid fire casting spells. And then she's gonna cast Enhance Ability, Bull Strength. And she's just gonna shout at the people around her. Just grab the rope. I'll get you to safety. As I'm dragging those other 2 people with me.
Okay. I'll
So
get
I'm just
you.
like a beacon. I'm just a beacon of starlight, essentially, for the people around me.
Okay. So, but before we get to AS, I'll let you sit for a second and think, as it's pretty much it's a yes or no answer. For you, at least, it's almost like you go into your story form, and it's almost like you'll form with the dragon that you've cast. Kind of looks like a water serpent with the rope attached. It's like a weird form kind of takes over all of that, and so it's like as you're just like walking, asking, or not even asking, just kind of yelling at people, like if you want to live, grab on. And it's like almost to them, it's like a spectral water dragon that they see. It's almost like they don't see you, just the head of this like serpent, as it's like it looks like a whiskers. It's kind of like holding 2 people. It's not doing anything harm to them.
I mean, it's all astral starlight. It's not like an actual physical dragon.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm messing with things.
Yeah.
But like, there is people that kind of go to like try to grab a hold of, and as you're pulling them along the way.
So I'm just gonna make my way back towards the rest of the group and like everyone who can will grab the rope. I will drag them with me, and because of the bull strengthening, I have double the carrying capacity I normally would have.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so including the 2 people you have, that will be about 9 people that are able, or that you at least see, make efforts. There is some people who like are kind of sitting on some things that seem to be a little bit okay at the moment, so they're not like in immediate danger, if you will. So they're not rushing to like jump in the water and just kind of go grab hold.
No, but I mean, if they want to, like if someone is on a little raft, like I'm just gonna say just grab on the rope and I could carry you with me.
But you at least
that's even easier.
Yeah, so you bring
a couple where the lady's laying on a door and the guy's hanging off the edge of the door.
He's like trying to beat her, like, no, don't you push me. And she's like trying to push him.
Go under.
I starbolt the woman out of the
thing. He thumbs up.
Fuck you, bitch.
I told her there was room, but she didn't want to share.
Yeah, well, no, you have it all to yourself. Fuck that bitch.
She comes back as a lich.
So you you bring over to the rowboat with this makeshift raft.
I guess the Odyssey just like this light, just this beacon of starlight just come around.
The dragon, it's come back.
He just told you to fuck off.
Clarence and Garby. So after you made the raft, or helped finish making the raft a little bit better, and the rowboat, and we said how many people again? Because the raft itself was at least.
Because the raft can hold 15 to 20. You said.
I have 11.
Yes,
people.
and
there
then
were 8 on there. And you said she got 9, but 11. Then there were the other 2.
I carried 2 in my 2 I'm dragging by my arms.
No, that's the 9 is including the 2.
Okay.
Okay, then 9.
So there'd be 17 total, not counting us. Counting us, there'd be 21. But we have a total of between 20 and 25 seats if you count all 5 seats of the rowboat.
Because Clarence doesn't get a lot of natural 20s that often, I'm gonna make it official, and we'll say 25 is the total. Because of from 15 to 20, I'm going to cap it and put it at 20. So the raft itself could hold 20 people, and then you have the rowboat, which has additional 5. So 25
there can be
altogether.
20 back there, and then one of the people, no, that's 17 that would be on the 20-person raft. So that'd be fine. And then us 4 on the 5-person rowboat. Unless anyone wants to go back there with them. I can stay back there with the people to kind of tend to some wounds. I know a little bit about medicine.
Hey, do you choose?
Does A see my does A any chance, because like they're not trying to meta game, but does my beacon of starlight do anything for him?
I'm actually going to say no on this one because of the fact you both are on the opposite direction. So while you are approaching,
I don't care. I don't care. I just want to ask.
Yeah.
They're just all last campaign. I made deals with everybody. So.
You do you. I don't. I'm not paying attention to it. Let's see. Okay.
I don't know what you are. I don't know who you are. I can't trust you if I don't know. Can't trust you. If I can't trust you, I don't think the others can. So no. No deal.
As everything goes back to the black darkness that is what it is. And then you kind of standing there trying to hold your grounding footing for a moment. I'll say you probably hear at least at a distance away yelling at you if you're going to pick the person up at your feet or not.
I'll pick them up.
You can hear a very faint thank you as from the person as you take them to the raft. So far a total of 18 people on your out of 25 raft. Altogether 25. So I would say this has been almost I know 1 hour because of Garbu's concentration that he had to do. I'm going to say probably 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after. So about 2 hours or so has gone by. And at least you hear it's faint and you think it's coming from the direction that you guys came from, but a very faint kind of like a dragon's roar. Not really of a roar, but it's echoing. You guys doing anything?
Can I do an insight to see if it sounds similar to the yellow dragon's roar or not?
Go ahead.
16.
Oh, that's not...
I mean, I'm rolling fucking dog shit, by the way. Like, I think most of my rolls are like 10s, 11s, 9s.
It wouldn't be that hard. Bad. It wouldn't be that bad or that hard for you because of the fact you do know who the dragon is because of your family being in the guild and stuff. You know, hearing the voices of like that specific dragon sounds pretty much like it.
I just look up at the sky. Oh. Better late than never, I guess.
As just about a couple of minutes later, it's just you guys can hear like just the roaring sound of flames as it looks like the dragon is now coming into view, trying to get this foggish away. And it's not like trying to breathe specifically on anything, but just trying to really use what it can to get most of this fog from this weather as the not as shiny but still as good as it can in a sunless area of the gold dragon as she flies by and just kind of does a few circles trying uh, looks like trying to get a good view of what's happening before she kind of comes floating a little bit downwards like her wings trying not to really push you guys in a direction or anything. So trying her best to be a little bit distance as her voice kind of echoes of just what has happened here.
Didn't you get the message?
Yeah. We tried our best, and I'll point to the raft. But and then I'll just motion out to the carnage, I guess.
um because of kind of seeing you again, Garbu, uh you can just kind of hear the little the telepathic mind of both of y'all connecting and just I mean no offense as unsure of who to trust when people send me messages. Is there any more survivors?
These are the ones we've managed to find. Did you see any others, at least? She said that telepathically. I just say it back out loud. Not being the smartest. Did you see any other survivors?
Elisa is like, I guess Elisa's been looking out. He's like, I don't know. Don't think so. Doesn't look like it. I think most of the people are dead or like holding on to their own little pieces of wood here and there.
I'll think back, or I guess I'll say back, thinking. I think the words as I say them, I guess. There's a few survivors hanging on to some scrap pieces, but not that many, we think. I'm glad you came. Thank you for believing me.
As she responds, just sorry that it was late. And she kind of starts to pick up in the sky, and as she kind of does a little bit more of a circling, you guys can hear the sounds of another roar of I think it's this one of another dragon as as kind of as you can see like the goldish of the female dragon circling, you see a kind of like the same-ish hue of not bright but has a little bit of a shininess to it of a purplish dragon as it kind of meets with it, and they're once they are kind of like together they start to try to their best of calming at least most of this fog and trying to get it pushed away. And the gold dragon as she comes back down and just tells that there's going to be people on the way, just if you can find any more, try to get them grouped up.
I just realized I'm still my story form because that lasted fucking good while.
So
thank you. We'll try to look around.
Whoever is going to go look, roll a d20.
We can't walk on water anymore, so we kind of have to do it on the boat.
You can ritually cast it, I think.
I can?
Yeah.
Is it ritual?
I think so.
Should be.
Yeah,
oh, it is. I will ritually cast water walk, and then I guess I'll stay with the people currently on the raft to make sure they're okay. Or no, maybe somebody less perceptive should. Maybe Ace should stay with them.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea.
He can only kind of see in a 20-foot range. Not the best for scouting.
Oh, yeah, sure.
No
I'll go look again.
offense.
I'll
Abe,
go
could
look
you
again.
stay with the survivors? I think it just makes the most sense that you keep an eye on them.
Sure.
No offense. You okay?
Fine.
Inside check that fine.
Sure. But anybody who's going to go look, perception check to see how well things are, and then a d20.
Okay. I'm gonna say if I roll below a 10, I physically cannot roll below a 10 in my current form. Okay, good. 25.
Nice.
And a 10.
Let's see. So first off, he seems troubled by something, but it could be just because of what's happening or what had happened. But
Okay.
it's one of those check back later moments. Maybe when we're not on the water, watching, hearing other people, That's kind of what you get as a vibe, if you will. Clarence with a 14. Okay. I would honestly say you spot about 15 people seems to be about right. Of these people are on something already, so they're not drowning by any means or trying to swim to something. That you kind of like tell them, if you can, try to either come over here or find something that you all can group up on. Let's see. Elise with 25 and 10. I'd say the same for you. Finding more people stranded on other things that are not currently drowning or anything like that. You think for you guys in Garvu, I would say the same about the 9 that you've rolled, just people stranded on things. You think so far the people that is on your raft is probably the ones that so far had survived, who were currently afloat and did not drown yet. The other people that you guys have found is people that managed to get a hold or get on top of something and not strain themselves as this happened. But at some point, as doing y'all's search, the lot of the fog has kind of been pushed away, as you can kind of feel a little bit of wind kind of pushing most of it on the outside of, as the 2 dragons are just constantly circling. Not fast, like they're trying to create some sort of tornado or anything like that, but they're doing a decent amount of trying to keep some of this fog out from the wreckage where you all are at, as eventually ships from both sides directions have came to try to help any survivors.
Because during this time, we'd have like tried to wake up the two orcs that I helped.
I would have said at some point, even kind of like a little bit before the ships, like the oldest one at least woke up.
52.
And is, I'd say if you asked if the other one was okay, I'll even say they're not dying or dead or anything like that, but maybe due to some either shock or just the trauma itself, like they passed out. And it was thanks to their older brother that was barely keeping them afloat that they were able to survive before you came along.
Hmm. Good.
I
Take
would
care of
cast
them.
light on the rowboat, or like on one of the oars to be like a little beacon for the ship.
I didn't make oars. It's just a rowboat without ours.
I'll cast
Oars
on
are
the king,
separate
the
pieces.
king then.
I mean, it's not hard to get like just a piece of board and just kind of do the same.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Just to be a little beacon for one of the ships.
Yeah. Not an issue. As pretty much the ships, there's like two that are kind of like a little bit more decent in terms of uh built and made, that they were kind of just kind of going through the wreckage, trying to make it easier for anybody who might be stranded on something to get on, as the others are kind of just out skirting as close as they can but without causing any heavy
I did the math. Based on the numbers you told us, we saved about 52 people.
and this is out of what, 9 ships total, with most of them either transports, and again, who knows exactly how many people were on like the smaller ones, but
Yeah.
if at least most ships carried like a decent amount of crew, especially with just a day's travel, like it wouldn't hurt. You don't need like 5 million supplies to keep, 10 maybe 15 crew alive, so something like this would probably be a little bit more common to see. But nevertheless, with what happened with all of the ships grabbing a hold of people, there is what you guys definitely noticed as well, is that there is people that are coming on ships that appear to be a little bit from Crisport. You could see other mages as they are trying to cast magic to either shift through things, pick up as many of just the dead bodies that they can. At least none of them appear to be familiar to you or anything like that, so you don't think it's any of the people that you know. And then from the other side, there is kind of like, which Clarence kind of catches your eye for a moment as well, as they have a little bit more of a structural I can't even say it, integrity to the ships, and some with like what looks like cranes on it, trying to pick up some of the rubble to see if there's anybody in it or on it or anything like that. Something you don't typically see with, at this time, modern ships. So.
Hey, Elise.
Hmm.
Is this like a rescue service or something?
In rescue service, the big
Those
word.
are the ones from Zilicy that have the cranes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they just. Oh, I just realized that I'm still in my story form. She just hasn't bothered dropping it. She's just like, okay, guys, I think it's time to go.
Should we
tired of this
try
shit.
to get on one of the ships from?
Don't need to. I'm done with boats. Shall we leave?
How?
Yeah. I mean, we're in a rowboat, aren't we?
I mean, I'd say at this point, including you guys, at least made it on a ship, but it's your choice on what you do from there. They're just trying to get everybody that's in the water out of the water.
Whatever the closest boat is, that we can help as many people as we
can. I will go to the orc in a little, and then with the younger, and I just take up my book. I'm ripping out a lot of pages out of it, but I mean, there's like a million fucking, like hundreds of drawings in it. And she takes out one of her first drawing of the like constellation of the dragon, and she like takes it out, and she gives it to him. here for your. Is it a sister,
Yeah.
brother?
The older one that was like trying to keep them afloat was the brother, and the one that he was holding was like his little sister.
I just give it to him here for your sister.
He
Maybe to give them some comfort that they know that they got. I don't know. Whatever you want to tell her.
he kind of like tries to hold your hand for a second. He's just, thank you a lot.
As the constellation dancing all over her body, she's like, "Ah, it's nothing. Just live a good life." And then she turns towards the others. You ready to go?
Sounds good to me.
And as you see, she stretches out her hand, and like two giant eagles appear in out of thin air.
Oh,
We leaving?
Wait,
yeah.
how long have you been able to do this?
Since for quite a few days now. What are you talking about? What's the point? Like the only way these eagles would have helped us to like literally get us to safety. They only last an hour.
Oh, okay.
And like
Look,
unless you wanted to leave and leave all these people to die, like there's no point in having them.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought this was like a Lord of the Rings moment, and they
No, no,
were
no,
like,
no, no.
I was like, what the? Wait a minute. He's got two best
No.
friends that can fly us anywhere. Come on.
Nah.
No. It's a
That'd
spell.
be cool.
Oh, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. As taken by as some people are kind of taken back that are on board, but some appear to still just be in shock themselves. As two giant eagles just kind of appear out of thin air, each grabbing the both of you, or two people, and both fly off. And I would assume continue heading northward.
Yep.
All right. I will say easy enough, and I will put you guys.
As we're like traveling in that hour, I assume like Garbo and Clarence take one for themselves, right? I mean that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I would think that would make sense.
I mean they're like.
It'll equal out.
I mean it's fine. Like the eagles can carry us easily.
Oh, okay,
Two
yeah.
people is no problem. No, but I more meant I more that felt like you guys are like best buddies. So I assumed you would do that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I just look at 8 and I'm like, you know, when you have so much power, we could have just left them to die, I suppose. But you know.
Something talk to me.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Something talked to me as well. Do you know what the
Knew
fun
so
fact is? Yeah, I mean they know a lot. That's the whole gist. They read us like an open book. They can look into our memories and use it against us.
That's the funny thing.
I mean, is it funny?
Sometimes.
Not really.
No, not that. Didn't think I would want to see my dead father again, but guess today's one of those days.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this put a big down on the day. That's for sure. But anyway, whenever there's voices talking to my head, I don't know. It's easy to give in, but I think that the easy way out is always the worst way out.
I thought about it. Thought about the deal.
I didn't. Not for even for a second.
Better
It's
person
like-
than me.
Arguably. I mean, I only helped because you guys were helping, otherwise I would have just left. So, guess it evens out, I suppose.
You did better than I. Like, the screaming, the crying, I guess the burning flesh brought me back to that moment. I froze up.
It happens. I mean, past is the past, and whilst it has shaped us, it doesn't define us. Anyway, I read that somewhere in the book. Wish you could
Well.
see this. As they're like flying over the water and like it's quite serene. Now that there's no, I don't know, looking out over all the water.
I don't deserve to see anything.
I think Elise just, Elise just doesn't say anything back. She just has like a wry smile on her face as he says that, and just shakes her head.
As you guys continue forward, after some time has passed of you guys traveling by Eagles, you reach pretty close to their ports when you know it's time for them to be poofed. As you guys land, the port for Zillicy is not actually like really attached to each other like how Chrisport was. This is where the city is a little bit further inland, but there is a decent amount of tracks, if you will, from the port to the city itself. When you guys land, you can see as it looks like they are setting up or has already set up I guess you could think of it like first aid stations, and I would say you guys could easily make sense of this as waiting for whoever comes back to see if they need any sort of medical assistance that they probably couldn't get on the boats.
Are we landing at the port?
Yes.
Okay. If so, I'm going to try to approach the tent and roughly tell them about how many survivors we saw get onto the ships from Zillicy. Zillicy? How are you saying it, Joseph?
I say where there's a Z-E-L, Zillicy.
Zillicy, okay.
That's how I pronounce it, but I also pronounce things fucking wrong. So I'm the one who make it up, and I can't even pronounce.
I'm trying to be lore accurate. To be fair, things in the real world are not pronounced the way they look either. There are silent letters in too many words. Scissors, pterodactyl, you know.
So.
You mean skizzers?
Yeah.
So as you guys, after you kind of tell them what happened, and they thank you, and they ask you guys, like, from what it sounds like that you were there, like, do any of y'all need any sort of assistance or aid or anything?
No.
At least just looks at them and is like, no, we're good.
I think we're okay.
They, thank you for the information, and they kind of start relaying it to others, and so on and so forth. And you guys start making your way up to the city itself.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like walking. It's 20-ish minutes. It's not long or anything like that. As you can see, the city of Zillicy was built off the shores of a relatively small island, and is quite truly a classic display of wonders itself. The city seems to feel alive and ever evolving with time. As you guys start to walk through the city coming from the port, it feels like it flows naturally like water. that you would see like an ocean or the grass blowing in the wind. It feels like things are just not conjugated in certain areas. It feels natural the way you guys are walking in a direction. Um, kind of seeing a little bit of the backdrop of the city. You could see like just kind of modest rolling hills from one side and the flowing seawater to the other. Parks and gardens are flourishing within Zillicy, and it has attracted a lot of attention. Many new cultures have left a mark not just on education, but also upon the city's identity. What historically was a city of predictability has grown into a new culture of variety, and it's that it unites the people to this day. There is tons of just different clubs, bistros, little shops, if you will. But what's weird about it is everything looks the same, if you will, with their own obviously mixture of housing as compared to the streets themselves. There's not like shops, right? There's not like a sign for each shop or anything like that. But it's just like you see just a bunch of people, going into some places, coming out with some food, or going in here, coming out there, but you don't see where like that's a food place or that's an item place. It seems open. Some of the races that you guys mostly see here: dragonborns, elves, gnomes, half elves, and tritons. So,
At least takes off a headset. Huh. Nice too.
So
what can I say? Every city comes with its own.
Yeah, like at least it has like you see like at least it's like a pouch with like discs in them and like an old Walkman.
Yeah, like it's one of those things like if you know you're going to be traveling to other cities, it's like recommended you buy this. And as you enter, somebody hands you like a cassette tape or a CD, and you just put it in and listen. Oh, okay.
Facts about Zillicy. Part 5. Crap, we didn't get part 1 through 4.
Just shit. Goes back.
After they hand it to her, do they then start trying to demand money from her?
Fuck off. I just go, fuck off. I just flipped it off. I say it's mine now. So we're gonna look for that armed person. Because the dragon is gonna be out there for a bit, I suppose.
Yeah, his name's Yoshin Operon.
I look at no, before he says that, I put my hand on his mouth. I look at 8. What's his name again?
Yoshin Apron.
Apron? Okay. We're looking for Yoshin Apron.
Pretty close. I'm gonna leave it.
Okay, fair enough. Go ask someone where Yoshin Apron works. I look at 8. Oh wait, you can't see me looking at you.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm just gonna walk ahead. See if I can find something.
Okay. Asking some of the locals, it's not hard as they point you to a house, and they kind of, judging from the way some of you guys look, they also ask if you're new here or if you're not. Depending on your answer, they would pretty much inform. It's like, just walk in. Like, you should be able to talk to who you need to. Just walk in. So you guys go.
Oh wait, I also realized that we look like a mess. So as we're walking, like Elise just plops the little elemental on herself and then just starts cleaning her as she's walking.
Nice. I was gonna cast prestidigitation on us. Oh, that works too.
I mean, you could cast on.
I mean, it would take a long time for that tiny elemental to get all 4 of you.
Yeah, but no, it's just for me.
Clean my armor before it rusts. Salt water isn't good for metal.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, I can't snap the right hand.
Just hold up the metal arm.
Hopefully you will soon. We're going to see
Ting.
the arm guy.
Ting.
So you guys head over to this house. It's this one doesn't how to put it. It doesn't have, it has like a little bit of space in between the other two houses that are close to it. But you reach the address that you were given. So I would assume as you guys walk in,
I'm still walking.
we were told that we can just walk in when
you see kind of just a bunch of like equipment for I guess like think of like a mannequin, if you will, of like arms or legs, or different equipment that looks like it's showcasing of having an arm attached to like the upper portion of the body, and it's like this contraption that looks like it keeps it all together so it would stay to where it looks like an arm there. And just a bunch of different, like I said, small makeshift pieces of this. But none of it seems like real functionality. As you see a young gnome who's kind of like putting some of the stuff together. He's just kind of screwing some stuff on. He's, welcome. What can I do for y'all today?
Yoshin Averon?
Apron.
Apron, sorry.
That
is open.
Anyways.
Opron is
Opron
is our name, and Yoshin is my father. I'm his son. Just fuck me.
Okay.
Is that what the guy says?
Is that what he says?
Does he smell like coconut oil?
No, just
don't worry, Clarence, you got this.
Am I having flashbacks?
Apologies for my friend. He's very into people lathered in coconut oil.
It was one time with one guy.
No, just my name is Zenbin. My father's Yoshin. I'm just the think of the store clerk, if you will. Just manage the store.
I just nodded. I just nodded it. Okay.
I need your father's blueprints on. I guess I'm gonna take my arm off, my metal prosthetic arm off. For this.
No. Interesting. And he kind of goes up to like try to receive it from you.
I reached down and gave it to him.
Texan is just looks like it's seen better days.
There's a lot of dead.
But kind of looking at it, and you see he kind of puts his hand in a little bit, but not like all the way, and he's just, it almost looks like he's
out. It would come out with a clump of wet sand, probably still.
As he kind of reaches in, and you can see it looks like he's trying to feel for something, and he's like, sorry, just checking. Usually my father engraves his materials on the inside, very unique, but at the same time to keep it somewhat realistic. There it is. And it as he rubs his hand across, like kind of like initials, if you will, that was made inside, but it doesn't, it's not like your arm, or if your arm reached that far, would have like an imprint of that. So, but he's, well, currently my father is out trying to get materials for his next project that he's kind of working on, but I can I can most certainly like try to take you out there to him.
Yeah, that'd be appreciated.
Okay. Yeah, he. I don't think he'd be coming back any day now, but you know he's. As you can see, we, at the moment, kind of just do with somewhat arms and legs, ish, but he's working on something that could potentially do a little bit other stuff, but he's needing kind of like certain crystals or whatever it was that he said again. I sorry, I don't quite remember. So, but yeah, uh well, it's kind of midday. I mean, we could probably make it out there. Unless you guys want to try to go tomorrow.
Probably go midday. That's alright with her.
I mean,
How many spells do you guys have?
If you.
Okay.
You as well.
I'm not super low. I just wanted to see where the team was. If you guys are cool, I'm cool.
I'm
But,
good.
I didn't use
I'm-
any spells, so like I'm pretty good. I do think I'm still missing health from the other day, so I'm gonna add that.
I can
you,
turn undead.
you use levitate.
That's true.
You did use levitate, yes.
I did use levitate. Yep,
You
fact.
did use
I
levitate.
did not click it off. Where is it at?
I
You
clicked
didn't
my
click it off.
spells.
Oh no, yeah, I did.
well, it is up to you guys.
I wouldn't be useless in combat.
We can go now then.
If we need to fight somebody, I could help. We want this island's like mostly peaceful, right? There's not like a lot of fighting normally.
Like
Don't have like
within
bandit
this
issues.
no, we don't tend to have hardly any issues. That's as far as I'm aware of. I mean, I don't tend to go out, but at the same time, my father, who's nowhere close to being a fighter or anything, you know, made an expedition a couple of times. It's just not a lot of resources out here, so I'll guess no.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go now then.
Okay. Yeah, let me just grab my things. I can meet you guys outside.
Okay.
He gets brutally murdered.
Heck yeah.
So,
Does he walk into a back alley and immediately get stabbed to death by like 1,000 poison daggers from a rogue?
Oh my freaking
I
god.
live in the back
Cole
alley.
gets the reference. Cole is the only one who gets the reference, I think.
No, I get it, but I just don't react to it.
I live in the back alley, and those guys are actually pretty cool. Thank you.
They're very nice, you know. I know one of them. His name's Todd.
I
But
thought one of them's name was Thordak. Or Thorin, what is it?
Theron.
Yeah, Thorin. Theron? Something
Theron.
like that.
Theron, yeah. There we go.
anyways, we'll call it there as you guys walk out of the home and just kind of looking at each other, getting a little sense of a breath of air, just from a peaceful environment coming from what was not a pleasant voyage and everything that came with that.
We're never sailing coach ever again.
I think
No,
we should
no.
get a refund for that. That was not worth the spectacle.
I'm just gonna point out that I'm glad that I didn't decide to fucking fly as an eagle because I'm probably Joyce would have fucked us with the dragon flying.
Just all the way down.
He's still out there.
Mm.
Good lord. Just imagine that.
I mean, you guys would have just read into it probably a little bit
Yeah.
quicker. But anyways, thank you everybody for coming out and joining us. As we look forward to next week on finding Yojin and hopefully restoring, making something better, making something worse for an arm for our depressed Aeth. So,
Hey.
as always, thank you everybody for joining us. Hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful night. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.